sign no intelligence report to be.
Yeah.
So what I say, ni na NPP for anye. So a day na me no be here interview ha no. Now I'm a few 1 week na ya to aba me wana. I don't know the kai.
Yeah, it got to 1 week, 1 week.
Me group here no panyin bi frame me was Paul. Yen ya kwa be fa so be wi ni election nim so wunum yen ye. Ye be ma omo party no nya kwaje party aye.
NPP for na kasa
me kan. NPP panyin na kan sa asa na kire no. Enu achi no enipa be ye 5. E ka kire me say e free sa abre yi ko no on be make sure say na no do ne nkofo ni nyina be free system. Initially ni ehu sa de na ne num se kufu abam no de sa ne ma na e dai esi because me so be kasa kire on. But
person set record say first and foremost who patch for sa prediction no.
Yeah, because I feel a bit dimechi dodo na wogidie wo mu. So at to the sense we be dimechi ko to bet no. If you say but I was here to say nipa me no me feel the security but my work politics more changing no na me but when it comes to security there I know there will be any say but any na your politics na be na nti me sra me fans me te chewo na afi nto omo so aya am ka say NDC no ahwan no munye NDC nsen me NDC me ka ho ne yete ye o ti ase obi create because we am appointment na say the me tena order da am appointment say me ti nti no dey aya munya asasem ne nka sem e beboa wo man.
Okay.
Me President Mahama me man congratulations on the NDC for nyina. Oh my God, yeah, tax ahead.
Any that day now send them send this year winning in the
MPP. Who say I'm tap monoprana almost to abandon you. Na me fed off Sakatram said, boss, your projection now, yes, Asante Radio meet me up to more than 2 million. Emma, so there MPP for beating me. Because your projection, you know, so on betwaba. You know, say the for no, or man for convince on betwaba. But not knowing you say, I was happy when I was listening to you initially. Say, okay, religion as so I better religion a tribal issue. In fact, a count them about me lose election. I think 3 days to the time, no. I saw 4 binumuni additional send text messages. If you create to call 4 cocoa and Solomon say Sabe, if you say no, I was say a year won't but I here say, Empesa cremoni be dia so. What I say, a dear Ghana, the Anthony be higher that. Ain't you know, Emma
message is not so funny start I said the account been about me lose Christian
account factors in the doors but no a man call actually first no na a Christopher no say about me ahase no omadi kobo aye dwuma tina omo wogidie wonu wo hwe ye data ye wa na Christopher no kra no e wo do e wo ba omiamu esen because me interview credit man no ampanyifo no bi kra mom ka kire me say when it comes to Islamization agenda there. But Mahama Mumne Kofa 2,000 Arabic teachers from Egypt, Pakistan, and I think Qatar baby by. But Bawumia Mumusuno was a Christo I saw down there. It all there were, you know, because Bawumia knew I'm solid BB and sad the name what for time man. I saw for Binumo Eshiaye. How many years said? I was making sure say Sebe. Omo mpese kremoni be ebetina odi kura na abeso acho which is very bad. Any class Ghana e konisa.
What is that? Okay, that is the truth. That's the truth. I don't know about me we know his own goes because Muslim areas so man to.
Yeah, meba. So mamenka Christians need anyway. Ye we are me field officer mama did say no krenya no kro no eno ebi o ha meeting akebi o meeting.
Okay.
Enti ano no ade a me fin say we kwanse so Ghana ye nyina ye nipa ba ho. I think sansem no pra na buy man na ekufu ado ekeka say oye kremoni nti onye nipa I don't know omote ne last na yeah ade a na ekoso pa so fo nbebre ye ya me fin say enya ade a wo say ye so Ghana. Two me menye kremoni na emo minim say enkremofo no wo omoniema bebre me enkremofo a me no omudi enkomo nyina dodo na no chief manfo no that particular me key informant approach me share imam form ne ade anam ne nkofo ye but actually no unse enkremofo na ya mo youth leaders bi amudi wo machi pa ukọ north a ukọta male no mo hono mo aha enti me field officer no ne o me ni bi kasai omo kire say ba omi adi sika ba e no de ma chief imam fo no Adam Kofona almost was one yes canon so I there on is a chief. Say almost chief in my phone a better about the or a day on got two. See gay bill no. Say abana and Sayan almost waba. But never will me president. And to want to be president
and mistakes on another sign. And everybody knows that he was playing politics. Sign the thing and let's move on.
Two. Mameti as say. Obi ahu say Bawumia ye trofo enkramofo so mpo obi o ye trofo wo ye kramoni na ye trofo de a no na kire se wo no wo nye kramoni pa ne e ka ho bi onkura ye de di AI generate eniema bi ebi a hu say video me ba ba kire wo time pa unfortunately do NPP for intelligence hu no matimi astop sa den. So these are the things that are affected, but of course factors no doors. Ekufu ado ho aho ebufuo economy na asema na wo kan eno ka ho but eno no nyanya de an ke no nko abema ba wo mielusu.
Okay,
NPP executive no kwa Ashanti regional problem kese wo ho na eno no sa party no asset in me kai pa me no be interview bi wa ha enti no president Kufuor frame me catch them say wa frame living do me NDC ni ba wonya ayi frame say ebia who follow me to say me catch them say party na wa Ashanti region no ebetimi aha unto obetimi dia oboboa omo. This is what I told President Kufuor. Now ebi so feel say party no untumi age aboso.
That is true.
What you say untumi age Ashanti region party na aboso na ne open no ye enti no I to say executive no kura wo ho no ense debrefu ense debre papa omi aye obi a say ne okan na okoye sacrificial lamb oma ye ne den enti so hwe ne speech na or the abufuo na ye e ma speech
sawo
who study me speech na who study speech na because time of consider ye no wo ye obi a wo ti politics asi pa senka wonya good menka so na advice say you me na me advice na time of consider me ma ne consider because one train kakra so what you say oh yeah policy that wodwe niema mi no time of consider ye no obetimi afre onipa na awawin no no aka kire say mimia eye wadi nkunim ntime boapo am hono ma ye den ma be da was public ntime boapo am na watwen kakra na yabopo abano because I was say we consider say MPC no bebre bi agabo bi kura no obi dia ye 4 and obi dia ye 10 obi ye say moment I will be concede no yeah insecurity you can be say authority has no respect for a dying key.
Exactly.
It's moment almost a key no kono one more year be ye we na the allegiance be call the new king no police for I was almost say e bi aba na MPP ni no the 5 vote kra na ewi no NDC for ni the ye ba ho a omuntimi nka hwe because omun so nkoya next line no na aduma besa na is officer na obey no enti e ba sa na say NDC for no so pese omu ye bi in fact me NDC ni e ba ni say 2000 vote kra meje because na ye niam who is no who ko enti we yam so because candidate
bigger margin no
no we see we yam so enti we say we duma na at the line NDC for so 13 obi a okromu say ye wini e be pam including military officers.
Yes,
exactly. Na o is no be twe say e bi MPP ni what the 5 votes na e bi ti wo MP ti be mpene uni ano enti me feel say omo amutu ba omi afo no eye ofin say tension ni be baba tension no sa bre no a wo consider na tension bia anhye da ni wo me fe na enema ko ti na wo sen ko hwe ono ne party ni so line kakra so ati ase no make sure say e bia enema ni bia me ye sure sen ko twen kakra ke bia MPP fo benya seats ni bia kan enti e ho no omo amutu no fo no omo antu no fo ye because politics ni ye enti du ba bia odwene papa no e de no adwene ba enti say na American factors no don say fia e ka say e kan
we boost our parliamentary because he also predicted say MPP for benya parliamentary majority and also
yeah
100
if we obey ya anto ama enipa ya ankoto aba no obey den no ato obi a oti politics ase obi a ye good researcher bia na me be di adance ye say sabani ye to ya nkaba omi abewini abano obi bia na a wo ye good researcher enim say sabano and turn out no call ya say ne ye hwehwe na enim na kaba omi abewini election no matter the sense no because Kobe winning election. But
the more issue is about turnout.
Turnout because no move Anna said the or some so bam or some initial be things NC a Juma papa. And the turnout no so Eddie Dija Eka. NPP for na Eddie Dija. Unim say ebi wo ho no mokra na campaign sika kra adwuma wo so wo de ye no o ma afa anye o ma afa enti no o ma nkasa Eddie Dija and ebi so ho a ofin say after all my 8 years my bread my deposition na bi enti wo mfa ho wanya ne sika enti ani nyina aka ba in short
for about but your document I say mama wa me dey manage your document no dey obobi abeka dey
I think I document man.
Okay, yes, you have me one. Okay. Ain't you know, what share a factors in the Dawson. Factors in the Dawson part, Nadia, you beat me, but of course, election here.
We will look at a friend saying, National Executive, I have said it in my introduction, say, yes, sack your money now. Party for no, if they know what is good for them, maybe National Executive, they must sack all of them because clearly from Kodia. For me, if I see Kodia as General Secretary, when you compare those days now, Dambo Cherumia General Secretary, now there's a big difference. Even Babaku lose your friends, John Bodu. Last minute, we will not tolerate. Who was you didn't have a strategy? You will not tolerate what nonsense. What to me, I hear you, man. See, and you see, if you look at the national executives now, Omunina new. With the exception of Nasara or free the last election, this election, but most of them could be new, Nanabi new, people like Samir Ukumu,
Nanabi new, but one also one of the party.
But he had a different role in 2016.
Yeah, no, or a youth, but no be a national organizer. And you know, what when you know how much come because I call for things on me how much what. What you say? O council among for all my platforms, so more campaign platforms. We crowd with me because member we in casa, member we in casa. Ni na ya bia na put ya. And you know, election in there, one more lose. Yeah, prediction I'm there, and I feel it. Me apologize. You support base. One more follow me.
But no, what? Hold on. I think sir, you cannot just say it's a prediction or in a field because every prediction, like I said, research is based on assumptions, right? Like I will literally be saying on this platform, assumptions in was. You hoping say the underlying trend historical will project itself as in
trend is part of a research.
Exactly.
Trend is part of research. You do trend analysis and you cannot do away with trend analysis when you do political research.
On the basis of that assumption, if it doesn't turn out like that, of course your conclusion will not also turn out right because you are basing it on some trend.
Research there, you base on so many trend analysis is part of research.
But
predictive analysis
is thing to do with the poverty and to apologize for a wrong prediction. I think it's a professional thing to do.
I don't think that
you think he shouldn't apologize.
So it's not to say, sir, your case will be a reasonable prediction is 100%. That is not.
Yeah, but you say, Natia me apologize and say medical case will be a family who acquired to bet.
Oh, and that's all.
No, a nipa who adwuma na ye. Sabi minyanya me. What you say? And school higher train. Political way, no, because politics, you know, we don't want our students to predict when it comes to politics because they are encouraging for say predicting. Nipa or done or china obetimi ayeden as a fan again. And you the all can't say a two abaning na. I don't know certain American nanamutia. Me say a tuning na. Ebian say me field officer and no call Ashanti region. No, the Eastern region so for share because near share or more, you know. A ball 2 no catch and say, turn out to me low. A bear didn't say, on betting me across the win. Say, Bay Grana, no my yard the answer on the court ran off. That is why I ain't be and Miss No is saying this year. So, because we have projection, and they say, we say nipa 500 never. Never time now, calculating, I do half, 500 no. Emu 50 na ba automatically what you say entino sanet here enipa fam ho akoto bet no aboka enu tie wo say e bi kra na bibre kura ka ho aminim It's there was some year there, me apologize. Some me I saw for plan.
And I allow for what to apologize. He got the results wrong. But the same guy, he was saying for what is not ending. But I'm trying to say special aid to President.
One has many this man, German Castle. One has many this, you know. Who said, if we are part of my town background and go for the breakers, answer. Now, time my Castle, you know, to say NDC media Baby deny. Mr. Minamiti NDC party, we tell you. Minanam here chapter secretary. Yeah, organizing a discover after most of Brennan, Minam here, Sadia. And near Mamma Comuno, come Facebook, one have the pictures. 2016, men and Nam Dr. Kwabneje and Nam Sa Kopim Tama, Uba who many Kwabneje, Mahama pictures, many Mahama Nina photo or Facebook.
I can testify that I started working with you when you were working with President Rollins, and you were the one who was coordinating media near the whole Kofi Adam.
Meanwhile, that's almost how they say, I didn't know my cast about Omia Berry. Metra will say, Mimi Eduma, and only Giamica. Now, never the yes, Bonnie and Becca, but when I'm blasting on so many occasions when it comes to security in some way of a can, make a say, or your head of way, but one tears when you're dean. And you have a blue Macan. Anna say, me no, data on the buy, no, a trace a beer, say, never quite something mechanical. And your first time I may make a be may this time in America. I bet you and Ochina data banner to say, America. And ya de America say be me this in the baby ametino a juma me ya ye tua mekano what you say and you tell us me this in me meka what you say
but your member about national executives whether NPP can survive after this loss, this Nguasia loss, and how NDC are in the next 4 years, because expectation also are very high. But did you see a real way coming? Did you see it coming?
Yeah. What happened? Sister Fiame that's it. My minchia Ghana for na minchia enuma pepem for ne suhum for. I use on Michiamu now. Sister Fiame, I remember Ghana for na baso. I think election. They be amicatu election, regardless of the outcome. No, it will cement Ghana's democratic credentials, and I think I'm happy about the way Ghana for no democracy in the area too. Now, you policy the process. So maybe who win you win, who lose so win so lose. And you don't go and blame ECB or the baby on what the process somehow say could follow. Into the fee that understanding has come, and it didn't come just today. We evolved, right? We went through different phases. It be court, and we be casting in court view. Politicians nothing. So me feel that's what I like about democracy. It takes time for things to evolve, for people to understand certain things, and we'll get there. I really want to thank Ghana for, of course, media. Everybody knows I was friends from Baumia. I still believe in the, Baumia way of, how we have to govern the country. But there's an election. You can lose, you can win. Oh, wow, you should have that mentality. And I said, I'm saying, research. We all do research. And when this research are supported by sometimes assumptions, and when these assumptions don't hold, of course, the conclusions you made off of whatever assumption you made will not also hold. I know they are consistent on the amateur based on whole trend analysis in all the years, our projection. And if that trend analysis didn't hold in this election, obviously the conclusion will not hold. In academia, if I look at your research, I can understand why it didn't hold because I know one key assumption. Failed you. What one the amateur? And I have knew all this while. MPP we're going to struggle in this election because your base no Amambeto we should forget it. Now who base Amambeto? I don't know independent number 2 now. It doesn't make sense to me. If your base doesn't come to vote for you, why do you expect an independent to be the one that votes for your party?
They won't.
Makes you the ruling government.
They won't.
And clearly, the election results. It looks like it's spun out of the data when I look at the data that the base really didn't come out to vote. And Professor Domfes said that thing on this platform. Maybe Obiami Chiano, I want him to send me the research report. I'm interested in people like that who devote their time to
Meanwhile, Pastor don't be a kind and all some for dinner and he said it.
Oh, nothing between the song.
55 years old. I want to mark NPP. They are the readiness. They will not vote NPP.
At the
they don't listen to the content of assembly. Line we used to say. I was here when he said it. Or catch us NPP for supporters. Say apatiba no monkotoa. They punish you more than NDC for. He made that statement here. Say NPP for if there's apathy within they'll punish you more than if in the NDC there was the same apathy. They don't punish them like that. And I mean, the result shows. It was a difficult election, Paul, but no two ways about that.
Yeah.
If they basically in Abertoir, you vote now in 2020. About maybe 500. There's about like 100. There might be 500.
That's exact calculation.
On the assumption say you basically in Abertoir, but that difference doesn't really make mean anything anymore. And that was exactly what spanned out. I wasn't really surprised about the win because the catcher said, "Say uncle for number 2 this phone in Abertoir." So you can lose them.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising you lose every. Because we go for number 20. And a baby traditional host, we only win by 2,000, 3,000 votes. Baby under 1,000 votes. Oh, the amateur.
But I don't know base number 2. Ashanti is the
good question. Good question. Sister Fia, there are two things. No Ukraine, Sister Fia. This particular cycle is a difficult cycle for all incumbent government across the world. I can give you an example. You can look at France, you can look at the UK, you can look at South Africa.
Syria, they say I want to bring and
you can look at South Africa, you can look at the US. Because we're incumbent, some economic issues, they don't resolve in a short time. They take a very long time to resolve. Sometimes the macro can be good, but the trickling effect to the micro, the transmission mechanism, so and yet 1 quarter, 2 quarters, sometimes it can take 3 years, 2 years for a policy to be realized and for you to begin to see the impact at the micro level. Into whenever there's economic destabilization and now some global events hit you harder, Sister Fia, a country like Ghana is vulnerable. Hey, you can, based on the science of how we know how economics work, Ghana cannot absorb itself from the effect of that shock. You will definitely feel the impact. And it's not surprising, sir. Most of our people felt the impact. The business community, the high cost of living, some people lost capital, lost money. And it's not easy. When you lose money, Sister Fia, it doesn't take 1 day to recover our losses. No.
Exactly.
It impacts people. And people who share DNA, now share history. We have had support from traditional these businessmen that were antagonized by the Rawlings era. Uncle for when on one forming the cross of our party formation. And they have supported us all this while. It's like the economic issues nearby and the way now Kenoforiata kind of says, so we're not going to the IMF. People had hope. The business community were investing. And then all of a sudden you make a U-turn and you surprise them. People don't like surprises like that. Oh, yes, after, even though you mean well, we are running into a difficulty. It doesn't matter how you rationalize it, how you explain it, whatever good reason you have. If somebody loses the capital, exactly. They are not going. They're not going to necessarily come. Okay, what do you mean? Okay. If somebody loses their capital, Sister Fia, it's going to be hard to just tell them within the one cycle, say, oh, for Biato in China, brand, it doesn't work like that. That's the psychology of human beings. They will have to grieve. They will have to find a way to express that. And Amika said, I'm not surprised about the way they grieve, the way they've expressed that. Some businessmen have come on this program and have lamented. I've told them, say, yes, I can understand the challenges. But we're hoping.
Okay, the process they see, Mr. Anoche account has a business community, 85% of the 20 about me, they are upset.
Yeah, the assumption, and it's assumption, maybe they are not many. What they are making on our class, and since I had 359 votes, but I was putting all of them in there. But inflation, and for business class, it affects average people, everybody across the country. Accra we feel the impact more, but in other places too, don't feel the impact. Inflation doesn't discriminate; it affects people across the board. And the cost of living, the issues nearby we did. It was a very difficult moment. And a big factor already. Already, as an incumbent, coming into an election like you already have challenges already. What compounding factors now? Then you see that there's a mountain of hell of things that you have to overcome. So I and I knew that it was tough. It was not going to be easy, but based on the calculation and the trend and the turnout and the projection, I knew we could cross that hurdle. And based on the weight rate now about me put it in, the way people admire him, I thought it would compensate for some of those. But of course, like I always say, you make these assumptions and it doesn't turn out sometimes. I mean, to play out the way you.
Yeah, can wait in our program, but you people refuse to listen.
You
refuse to listen.
No, you can listen to something, but the question is, you cannot resolve it within the time frame now you want to resolve it. Okay. There are two things. Yet we understand what these concerns are, but the question is, it doesn't take 3 months, 2 months, 6 months to resolve. It takes time. It can take 2-3 years. And we are talking about a campaign cycle. We are in a cycle of election, and the issues are not going to resolve within that election time. It's going to resolve beyond that election. There's a limit to what you can do. Until you cannot do much. The other thing I am saying, you don't come in and show before more. You just have to listen and calm down. And I mean, because why do you want to antagonize him? And that way you have to be very respectful to the people because before when they are complaining, they know what they are talking about, and they understand COVID. But this is people and emotions and psychology. When people are angry, on he's angry. So they are mature. Sister,
you agree, sir? Parliamentary seat. Say a safe seat. Maluzu Domi Kwabenya. How can you even lose Domi Kwabenya? There's about 30,000 gap between NDC and people. Maluzu Domi Kwabenya. That's like how the body. I think that when people speak about saying yes, they
live in that enclave. So it is also the NPP need the cross of the people that support us last year. Why will you be surprised that the outcome in your Domi Kwabenya is surprising that they didn't go out and vote? Because that business more individual more businesses do not and other places. That's what I know about Domi Kwabenya. Somebody can prove me wrong, but that's my understanding of that area, not the setting, not the way, And what in places beyond I we lost grounds. And Kumasi, that is one of the things. Kumasi for they don't know into that area. So BBC I think unfortunate. Like I say, we understand what the concerns are. It was a big challenge, it was a struggle. I mean, we knew we could bring it back, but it was going to take time. Timing just didn't favor us. And of course, like I've told you, we've seen the trend in South Africa, we've seen it in the US, we've seen it in other places. So there was evidence to tell us that any incumbent government going to an election in this cycle, it wasn't going to be easy. And so, Sister Fia, I think the support is near now, but it's one election. You lose some, you win some. There will be another cycle to come, and we will regroup. We will. At this point, everybody's complaining and blaming everybody.
Our party is strong.
Our party, the way I am, I'm very happy about the future when it comes to the NPP. They seem to be now, we know where the Sinto is. Mr. Muamoma Ajubrembra, Kufo was not stupid when he came to support us on the platform. He understands this issue better. Kufo understands this issue better. He wasn't stupid. He knew. He also knew that it was a tough election for us. But said, election, you cannot come and dampen people's spirit. You have to come and motivate them to try the fight before this. And that was the reason why he was there. It wasn't that before in him and some caution.
Onim Bibia. So Onim Bibia. Onim pa.
And you began your canabonting.
Oh, if you are okay, I'm not cutting an eye short. Okay, we show no so I think Saturday day away.
Critical issues, yeah.
Yeah, 2021. First quarter number because we interview ni partner. Emu 80 say emu 80 no. Almost say abano or monto. No, four say abano or monto kura. Two say military intervention. I say mekaya I don't know be a
military intervention we spoke about it, yeah.
I'm not emu two say beto ama NDC. Even Kumasi Sabre na be sa Kumasi na nasa man yekoye no so e background the same thing. So I was shocked. It me be kan wo mu UTV ho be yi that day no ba kun ye Agyapong na also NPP fo ani bi no person mu frame didi matem oba bi me person bo afi amebo ni din a kire to friend this in a call ho tinana ayi ni ana host na man kwa me didi matem no one person ya to aban che e de na pobo ati say ya to aban na NPP be lose. Somebody need to do, in fact, somebody need to do much here. But now you're quiet, no. And to NPP for no man to ban, or Pufuntam, or Pufuntam pa. And in your maybe I know what's wrong with you now.
Can Agyapong am I hit 2022 to us ADC, and we all knew it.
Me ko Kumasi, Grandma me chroma dancing ya di ko videos. In fact, this election, me friend mami Benapoko you chrome in foot trolling and then okay campaign. I'm like, oh.
No, there was a AC. The thing said, yes, in a year. If we are near was a AC, no, a year, pa, because they say no. Obiabo said, we see arrogance no dorsal. Send your name in and I can. One my commander, no, what's on the room? And no idea share voters before more pa. So when you be crying, what in one, now can't restrict something now, almost person say, Obesa the room. Enti no niasi ni ye ti say no wo hwe senior system na ye no obi ka say NPP agu NPP ntimi wi me ka no show you say Ghana ha wo hwe mu pa 4 years bia omsesa ban omto abasesa ban na mo depend saban no beko ana onko ana so opposition no ya na dwen say obeji tumi no ana ontimi ngi tumi. But voters, Ghanaian voters, who said on there 4 years to be a baby or to be a mom pen on come out from that. Who said on ye pa so
because yeah, the point that you can see a trend, you know, as a sample for you to be as a vote party a downward trend.
Ubo and command of fooding and near ma or more ye, but we no, but ni dimina no.
Or Hansna, if he says you're educating on politicians, you know, sometimes I think there's the reality of our country. We have difficulties, red difficulties. It doesn't matter whether it's NDC, NPP ruling, those difficulties will always pan out. If he said we have to get time and let people understand, say, economic policy and our buying policy, you know, it takes time. There are bureaucratic processes. And this is
campaign now. You don't paint those reality to people.
No, politicians they don't accept their faults.
World Bank in 2016, no. You people painted a picture, say, "Ma'am, incompetent in our call World Bank near IMF." So you didn't highlight the typical issues, you know. Make I said 2004 and Moko debate. Mama was talking about the fundamental structure of your economy, and we need to move away because acquire agri, cocoa, gold, I mean a few things, and that's how it has been. No, but you people rather turn it against them. It starts from campaign. No, your campaigner. You don't talk about the realities. Then you want to go and hide behind the realities.
Yeah, Sister Fia, I get that. The dynamics of politics and campaign is one of what to catch on. Sometimes power panel. It's not Obi. Yes, American philosopher be names a president in the canvas and politicians campaign or in poetry and then govern in prose and whatever. I think something like I love those slides. You know, I get it. When you're looking for power, sometimes I mean you
say so many things.
So many things. But the reality people have to understand. That's why sometimes I feel for people's ignorance. Because if you have ignorance, you set unrealistic expectations for yourself because you don't even understand how a particular system works. But you have so much hope in that system. I don't get it. Mental system, I don't put my hope so much in it too. Because I don't know what the loopholes are, what they say fault lines are. Government works everywhere. No? It takes time for government to take a policy through the structures because you have
not possible.
Yes, you have to take it through a process, and that process will have to be by the time I'll be here about now 2 years maybe I wait channel.
Okay, I don't contribute to this area.
Hona contribute.
President did you contribute to
I think personally I had some very issues with President Akufo-Addo in terms of the way you handle your party, because and some of it I don't want to discuss it online because
here public. If you are here for public consumption.
Yeah, I will discuss it internally, but Ubia won't announce. But I think it told be away pehina sabi nkola be kasa it told be say with you because politics ye will name bo a nkola dynamics we pehina unhu aja akola ka kire on the amateur no. You know, I think there was some element of the contribution to the defeat, you know, but Ebi Suhana is exaggerated. Once you lose election now, people say so many stuff on the amateur. Ebi Suhana is exaggerated, but Ebi in reality, you know, but sister, if you will I expect say Omampeni better national ne Obi or promoting our election no onya fault biya. I wouldn't expect that, right? But I expect they say be minimum on the amateur no. And yet be minimum contain on the amateur. But the election results here, you can see, sir, we didn't handle our base properly. We didn't, suit the pain and explain properly to people why we had to do DDP and how, if we didn't do that, there was no way our foreign investors were going to come in. That explanation is an economic complex situation. You need somebody who understands finance, understands the complexity of all this thing, to be able to break it down. Nippon might not forgive you, but at least they can appreciate where you are coming from. And the fact that, or the saying, your strategy needed one of our strategies that didn't work for us. If you are from a personal finance point of view, when we came, we were trying to borrow, so maybe we can refinance the existing debt, borrow at lower rates, extend our maturity, and then replace it with a lower debt now, which were at very high interest rate. That was a good strategy if nothing happened in the world and the world was normal. But of course, strategy pandemic, COVID, it compound the fallout of that particular strategy, and COVID compounded high strategy. If COVID had not come and we had continued on that pace, so high distress, debt now IMF it was a potential. It wasn't a realized risk. It was a potential risk. Potential is different from realized. Sometimes you know that there's a potential risk here, but it doesn't mean that it's been realized. Unfortunately for us, those potential risks all were realized with the COVID pandemic. And sister, when you have all this risk coming together and falling together at the same time, no manager in the world will be able to contain or manage that kind of situation. That was why in UK, the finance minister had to go, or the treasury, whoever was managing.
Boarding what happened? Boarding.
It is what it is. That is what the science will say. And the science exactly played out in our case. Unfortunately for us, when in Ghana issues, Ghana was not a rosy place. We remember we came to pick a Ghana with an IMF program. So we still had vulnerabilities and challenges within the economy. Just that we're trying to manage those and roll it over with time and stabilize stuff.
In fact, that would be one of the difficulties Mahama in his first year he will face, because
challenges.
So the expectation too is high.
Yeah, people
just
people must understand this thing. So one thing I always say about country now, you go having some highfalutin expectation, and if it is not real, you think that the leader not said it. But you must understand that we've compounded these problems over time. When you compound problems over time, it doesn't take 4 years, 6 years to solve them. It takes systemic.
But there was a compounded problem. And you'll be a who cause some banana trouble. Mammy, my problem, just a quick one on prof. Not a problem. Good evening, Aquaba.
Yeah.
Prof, now we are sure, sir, from where you sit, Nini Pauli or Macasano. I said, about me, I had an apparent. What happened there? Then Omuluzu, you know.
Hey, Prof.
Well, any problem to me in Casa, because we are shocked.
And the problem we are shocked,
now, a cheer for Mintimina. I am more than shocked. Paul, if there are other words, use those words for me. Now, all research, they move for Chroma FLE. Now, in social science research, we have a theory, social acceptance theory. So Ghana, nipa bebre kasa baumia na bawene, because President Mahama na bebre na to nchen.
Yeah.
Inti sabi talk kasa Mahama bawene a na you be kra say wadwene ni fie. Na fa yanko buba wan weni o was self NPP party pasa. Na dia make trust no say and na ye gina hai obie ni wo betimi a kire say ekwan yan DC 4 fa so ni. Yes, MPP for no yanima puto, but next can say for just 3 regions. Just a baby president free, yes. Bawumia area, yes. Vice president area, they can atonsium. Hey, Ye no one say na amen. Na momo se mo nto aba. Ene woko Facebook we nipa su entagueti. Man. Yesu se free HSS e de na ye beye. We na mintwamo ano e be se the second term we no enema MPP fo aye no. Ni huna bankra on betumi abaye bi atwa esa ho. Na ne ya ne se wo mo yamfom so bebre. Wo wade se na de ahye dem. What na so sama ebeka nena sesemi ato aba na wiyi obi aye na dwena wie obi am sa modi amonye modi amodi sika hunu nya de ade but eniema ya na nsana na ado dankoku ye bo akra se Ghana opa apaso atokra wonya bi because na ado atoro nyino di a commission projects so entiade ne de MPP for no na ato om hutuo but NDC for so mo nkyere e kwankra on faso na me ba ko aya me friend bi say an say wo mo cha niema ba bi ho a entoma sewing machine and more cooking oil name it na wo mo distribute
ba MPP for so chebi o prof mo chebi
e consume
yes think say bi o no ma mo de na bi mo je no ma
the same strategy no mo nyina yu sika omu che sika cha niema ede omu nyina obi a chebi prof ya bekem se kire ni wedding komo bi
na ne okay nia NDC for the task one say oji a nia ma warning say oji ade no anto a say na be yaw oh inti asante o mo anto no wo mo je ba no mo suro say o mo tuma MPP abi be yaw o mo na ayaye anzo so sane mo kan no yem fa no sa politics yes anete afi bi o ho a eyeye ma o afi bi o ho a enyeye ma o kroma ewe no bi anyini say papa we be win no because no some ya walk can obiam some am na be win and so ankosa Hillary obiam so be win and so ankosa enti asema ba no moma yensi abotre na ye ne ho nkomo na this for no
ya mo nyen before now if you look at the numbers prof 2020 elections so mama around 6 million
yes
this election onya around the same 6 million plus
MPP for na anto
if you compare
the vote about 4 million
to 2020
about 4 million.
Is it not saying can the arrogance sue any buying MPP for there, that disconnect with the people? The fact that Ashanti no because the last minute I am going interchange by force. You have 8 years to do so. I'm interchange. Is it not that no because when you limit it to say NDC for Chedi and no mobile do so, then it's a Ashanti region is region for marginal but they intentionally what MPP for were doing, and they said, you have taken that for granted for too long and would do it. Is it not the case to say MPP for no sooner or by arrogance and they failing to recognize the issues are more promising of one anything I'm going to do.
Yes, last time I'm Ghana no, but be anywhere me call ya, me tis to be cousin papa, me for just area ho, or cousin papa MPP for him, or nipa back crane ho. And so, Omoka me trauma say, and if you're saying I ding. Now, more dear, most say economy, yes, but and there are there individuals at me or Ghana no, a chain any era in Ghana. And akoda kura si dan your edan abrosan no sie akoda kura oni regular job otimi si abrosan eden enso nipa timi nya kwan afa so ebobra so kroma ye way
how does that answer question ya me
apartment bia wa hanan
ko me buta specific question o prof but your memory big question me say is it not before Sunni or mobile arrogance near there and contributing to the loss of the election and you how people gonna for their survivors. You're magicians. You've been your the attitude of buying
MPP for Suban can home and an another city tintin sample your canoe and also come.
No.
Adia woyan and yet you can't with also your executive president into a BNT too for. Can I for that a freeway? What is any packer a financing once and view? papa onimo juma and so was sending papa finance minister denti o papa president denti chinchina on adbeye enti nanado eko yia ono ne body din anko yia also e body din na ba umia de area who said such a man with a fine brain you been not for about 4 years now I assure you sir they will do their homework well because if free na kono nanado oni to me parties to me bio enti wo mo aye ba no ye behwe nyama na kana no atum de ahi kran na statue awo ye just say wa win home stretch enti wo jiwani mission accomplished na statue no kramatese binimu astati bububi enti wo musuban ka ho wo musuban e ka ho pa campaign song
one first person I made do bad program so can't say now I don't know your classmate will go me boy and you were emphatic by saying that the Nanado that is sitting in Jubilee House is a ghost of the original Nanado that you knew in Legon. Now when you Nanado
that's a word that ghost of the original na no one or ebe fra konwa si say obia onim Nanado pa de na nipa bebre nso aka the same thing say wo mo na ninu pa say Nanado be dia konwa na enema agege nsem hwesisi ya pa kesi it was serious. How did he handle it? How? Any papa say one near din ya obetimi because obia aka corruption and so ba ye wantimi amwa na ade ba kon ya nse ba omia enipa aka so obia ntimi anta no down to corruption don't cause or a liar and no
liar no so yeah
great. Yes mama ya juma na say no minim say mama ni nkrofo started sese nyema Ghana unya video omoni age especially a free HSS womo food warehouse womo bubu womo sisa jombenya bia womo say no na sab ne ribe dia na say 4 years Ghana for yentimi nya hwe yentimi nya hwe enti aban no na do nya nko ye no onkeka na ho onkeka no me hu say tumi wo baabi odi officer obi money no anka na chese ope onipa concept no obi money na kan na o correct no a eno na ye sister party cause obe broadcast to the nation na o chere action obeye na moko cabinet meeting a wakasa chere ministers nyina so obia o this KBS no on famra ne fanya o mani ye na san adwuma wo mo adade no enya adwuma ketwa na san adwuma mo ye no enya adwuma ketwa mo ba ye adwuma we na mo atama nipa di motem minister ba kon president education minister and roads and highways afa wo mo aka nyina divimam nibi o man ti se kumasi ena yesi nipa ni abonten adan obi edi awreho obi ahefie na obi kan se mo anto ono na mfe se ho na ekoto amamu wo di dwam onum se ede yamfa chiramaten amamu de a monye yamfa wo ya amamu de a monye Paul sisi ya nyan sa o and this for ya de wo mo ye homework ni ye ene de o se ye bo mo abaso because mahama kura sampo no so wayira the free 24 hours economy etonsium and nko kitinkiti etonsium and confirm etonsium up to now one kura men ka so gide so awene in ka so this still awene na Paul can say Baumia a conceded defeat in term. Yes, and at time on say me cramatiam into me no me cramatiam into me na ya ye just a juma no officer or dinner who den nkwa nyina ye no atonsium Ghana for
na so okọ province and also say when lusu a obewin nti na also prepare the mind
and the den
me so okọ no say either so obewin and na so obelusu.
Yes, and there's a probability 50-50 and a call left and call right amano nansa tasking kokun no so obewin and also be defeat or prepare the mind send your whole and so in defeat or no one can say yes he's still victorious because on one him say no yare kra no de bekun ye na watimi akon wie yes enti near kakra meka man no say no say
okay
NPP I say Bahama olusu by how many votes about 1 million Aso nkakra watimi atina koma to ne yam amene wasamba. Na MPP supporters mo tiemia mo show commitment. 2020 and this follows yen they had a little over 6 million and a little over 6 million they are winning. Now the winning yen a little over 6 million and 4 million. Na Jesus best year and yet a dinner bar me fee. Na chrono aka no hen.
Okay. Well, problem will depend on how you treat people when you have power.
So
One of the biggest issue when people we are Didija. Look at listen to all the commentary that is going on. The people who suffered. Let my vote count. Any demonstration. Any idea for this Achim Mafia issue where we've said it from 2017. They didn't bloody listen. They didn't listen. But what did even me say I've quoted Akoto say unfortunately Papa Newu, but maybe it's not flight move Kokumasi, and the man was complaining bitterly. This is a man who worked under President Kufuor managing HEPIC. We look at to monitor and evaluation paper crock office or nyebi. Bitterness, yaw na Papa Ndinam so no di wuye. Yaw pain na Papa Ndinam so di wuye. More MPP, more nim say we are my samna, we are my say. The Mr. Amachi once as a CEO, but I have a can say. A CEO representing business community, almost business owning because MPP a property owning democracy, almost DG to help MPP to win power in 2016. Almost Papa in a company free Ghana called US. This is a businessman who contributed to helping MPP to win. And then when you the business called US. Enti oba na sabotage o mo bo awon na o ka se ni pa na san ba bi o enti prof Ashanti region business community for no they will not return to MPP until they change their character. They will not return. I know we send a message no can Ashanti region for omo give me here they will not vote and so that you wrap it in
because you say osi echinyoda e hwa na tekremada osi echinyoda e hwa ya watu NPP money there, we are then one order. And in America to us will be on the set. Party no, Yasi Diano, Achia, Nemui. You bet you Bugusun Sio, Amanaba. Nanado qua, Obia Baban, Obesion Yansef Leonardo, do I am. Won't here will be awesome. When American, that my committee me a bomber more statement I made about him, and it still holds. What also your executive president? I want to say Papa DNB. If Papa is a ceremonial president, what also executive. Onana Bibia obey. They say about me, a woman who watching. Inti not doing a one Simono. Ye bear dang and a yenya. He's a special man, oh. He's a special person.
Not so party,
one person. And he
me and a dog now.
Problem because the internet thing is able to say any no.
Well, me Amra 2028. One in Apo. That is a tradition in Ghana. To be here and
Emfa. On in Apo by Emfa because Napo say no a negative energy ma Emfa.
What the yeah,
and for what Baumian Napo Emfa 2028 until they shouldn't return.
In fact, Sammy may advise Dr. Baumian, make us one share our goal. More maybe because sending me who near ma ever few days my lesson na kono. Any near me be I mean to can public. Sammy me yakonya so me tunu for aka say eye wa be bi. Ye hu ni contribution. On share our goal, no be be intra. Now on be our the abeboa party.
Wow. Now about Kennedy Agyapong returning in 2024, maybe 2028 or 2032.
Kennedy Agyapong, I don't want me to be in kind, but it appears our bus is here. I have NPP for delegating to Abaman. Come be brave, you so count no malusu.
I don't know count no malusu.
A big comments are our mama. it's too early mom so on one year campaign and then this for no born one in some and one in sembi and a chere crano or saka can sembi oh dear omoke cantino it appears why you don't fukumfo it only pass ano yeah fena ana the brain so believe say omo can say omo nko ne meje party no ne actions ne ne nyina ka na NPP so we on sa omo fa nchewo omo fa nchewo it's too early if we are no ya be yam pense but say me tuba omiafo a
NPP will return in 2028 and don't forget 2028 because man not so bad on ho ndi agro
okay ni ebesie ni 2028 no ebe new faces because President Mahama be in 4 years now because this was a constitution no say so numbers no bet change the constitution na any person wey bia this was a constitution no send any time yes adia new faces never by NDC no
one party correct media ba
enti no o sene oya amamrani no sene ne time dia onu ana beba ebegina adwuma obeye so ana abetua ka se obetumi ato aso an ko wo hwe ebo na awahye na say voters no omo ani abre asema abeka bia omo toroto wo enti omo bege so obetumi aye free senior high school no ade expensive pa ebo ndi aban ne ka yie pa enti eno ani niam a wasa aka se wo wie free senior high school na abesa ko university first year free no wasa de kani bia beka ho enti no o san so abetwitwa tax nkitenkiti ni mu ba bia obenye ska ayen eniema bi no so o san be yi ni nyina afi ho enti no minim ba bia obetimi enye ska na ode be yesa ne ma no fo watena konwa no so penti onim enti ano o kasa enti otimi yesa ne ma na manfo ani je na mlanto ani nya adwuma ye enkoko yi se mi se mi NDC ni nje no ansa me kɔ agric minister obeyin ho no ma kwaji buo ni bi na me makwaye me nkoko ni bi enti no oyesa aniema no na se kwani mi amanfo nya adwuma de a ni okan ye bia 24-hour economy no mi se me ba me be pe kofo bia ba bia te ene me ba ye adwuma de 24-hour me mpon enti otimi ye yesa aniema na obetimi ayede aye so otimi anya de a ese na maka no 4 years bia ahwe mu agana fo no moto aba etia aban otos na emu so obekọ na wo nkọ no eho ne asem oba ayin so a NPP mu a oba NPP mu so a me research officer na nkasa no nsema anu o ka kire after sa we na okohu o se ebi comment ne se ka bawomia fa edutwum kura ne hodwo na no kasa ye wosan ye kristoni a oye elder ba na podie asori kura hu asori awoko sebe o kasa nso a
yes of course Bishop I don't think what asori ha amuti aho no kwa asori
but politics here per numbers so etu kwa asori a ewe din that is why na compare so mo fa Pentecost panyi bi
yes
but eno so mo hu say sa eniema bi a me mpese meka ewom ade nya waso na kwahye nase ohun ye na ye som ye dooso ye na ye sei na oh no
on Pentecost
enti no sa na mani nyina ya de a ekuti a o enti no me de kamitu ye wura ba omiafo a wa ya de obi ebu no na ho plus ye na dwuma a obeye ye ebetimi a ko ye den ontwe no ho na NPP fo ni nyi omo candidate say na edutum no mde bebo se hwan yo omo nya two faces a say NDC nso ase edu nkatia ne fifi kwete na bebo say nso bi a Joshua Labi na bebo no say nso omo kwa kofa different person aba na omo di ase ani ba so di si ani neso obi a base to aba dia MPP fo no bi a no mbetimi asaba ba so omo koi ma sa leaders na sa ko manage party no ye to abai mu na mu se bi ehufo ba bi nye eyi chairman bi kura de anto abai na anwe no otra ni unregistered car mu no odwane ye we enti sa bi kura na bi bia
bi voice sifia sadia sifia na e obo de ya bi de sin na o
enti anka wo ye chairman ya wo se wo monitor na ba bia wo se wo kokko se aba no ye kose no oye ya na odwane ye okotena ne ba bia ai mfa no isi enti wo se omunya leaders a omuye eniedefo nye bebre sa o hwe NDC a o se NDC no mfin se revolution mu ntina aya but any bebre wo hon mo e wan this mo e any bebre so omo ya me no omo mfo aso wo hwe omo anwa tie sikuro mu amu yese me po obo ache me time what you say aha enti no omo nya ne sa dia because wo hwe obi o kan kure bia so pese wo hwe wo ye trend analysis na hwe fi numbers ne pa dia wo betimi aka say e kam ya say NPP for doors sen NDC for Ghana so hwe ni ye pa nti no omo ye omadwuma yi a and but say no 8 year we no so ya abaye ade a Ghana e beka ho nti no ni nyina gina president Mahama dwuma obeye so ni nyina gina na dwuma obeye so eno na man for the budget agin
yo prof NPP bet me about 2028 and I'm forget to crown on 2032 and should they come also ba me ambra but they only up what in got about me about on today
the about 2028 for the NDC for yes share the NDC for year and then in a had almost started your work in crime on by ya to us within 6 months President Mahama Krano oh the neighbor bris oh when you here Ghana for more years as I am share and this osuru sorry a oba wo so no ho na otisi kromu a obia bedwane
bro osuru no okay osuru mu ye buti na informati otisi kromu a osuru mu da from me
no say ba obi dia be brem wo mu twitwa ne nam oba sorry oba tika no
osuru na wu osuru mu da from wo mu ye twitwa ne nam osuru ne tisi prof you say
oba sorry
2028 I'm not forgetting number 2022
oba because and this is for don't buy and no dear MPP for your crab akra can you some aye kan yenim say e ho mo nko obi but and to say adwene no adibo man no Baumia is on top won ko kon kitim portrait from one any bi obi ya yade sim say pe e more by 1000 one day o nyina betumi awu but papa nso de wodwene nim wodwene kokan and what the global world and any part of the world also will be Ghana 24-hour economy bank or Ghana only 24 hours. These things are not new. And maybe within 1 year people will say oh say a tron of 2028 a car and before about me but me about me are resurrected yeah me no yadwene na podium man test and papa bi amfa no da man ti asem papa bia enti ono a wote ase din step down madutu mbade a ene ye ekwan bebam na 2028 they assure you say niema and this for no supported by yentino omho be Ghana for yes Ghana for so ye bibia yem hwe o so betwa as gracia mu some kai e bedru 1 year na won twa mu a ye be mark o
okay.
He
has almost absolute majority. In the end, he can do anything he wants in Parliament.
Including one party state. Yeah, but public no. I just want to say one president for life. In anyone here will vote. Also, person obey. Yeah. To say the majority one yan. What we say? Majority one yan be any horse or by want to me. San Crawford one on Kwa there. Now, ordinary people in the street, one number one, because as long as he stayed in power, they will always get what they want and get away with it. Okay. The same in himself. IGP, Nyamianya Yobako. Yisi, Nyamianya Yobako. Attorney General, Tessa Nipa, that chopping board, no so dear. Okay.
I don't think so easy but easy that you can't remove it unless you can.
Oh no, many sure say President Mahama be our obeyesa.
Yeah, easy
because who say a politician or prof which can stage e was some a work kan what can you support base in person wo mutie no manya video wo mu ato abama so wo kai a President Mills ba ye no before say ye beba no ne ye ka say ye ba ye be ye won say Edru ho wan chi nipa ba akokro so wonye political vendetta. I don't know say wo kai a.
Me kai pa.
Ye mu atamos wan chi NPP ni ba akokra. Also wonye na emu adwuma eda na nim no e. President Mahama me wo gidie say amanfo betu no fo. Ye nyina ye opportunity e be ka kire. So obeye to say where you say me town met 1 year, Mr. President, 1 year. But our political platform there, we can support base, supporters, any budget, and then no be cat them, so then a President Mahama or Mekasa. Says ya or Mekande. What you say? Before one call for out here, power no see and farmer and communicators, and some medium thing on Baba Casa. Obi or Honoma, or yes, I did no crack can open. And since that, Obama shed them now, Obi Okra said you will be having a girlfriend when you're not to walk on crown and budget. What you say? And no, near man, in politics, a woman. And you know, also a Macassa, and you're fine. Now, the internet security for no one, I came in on. Now, you find also Jan and also no beyond on any commander in chief. Reason I make a chance at down Palenia Maya and Mempen, someone who can cry you cry. And you know, politics, sanity. And Yama, you were Mahama, run a Dawson, no calling me. Mimi shepherded a crema, a bad dear man, but what dear Punyana paint winning or crying of a fast one amount for Becassa. Now, near 1 Timmy Anyen, and I own Timmy or Betche. Say, oh, be a happy, we can't say, and so, Mamma Mreka cry, because your man, listen, it be ambitious, be ambitious.
Some of the thing, the first 120 days, and I agree, say, this is Mahama's first 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana. And 1 year did document number, this is binding. Also nominated within the first 14 days.
I know bet me, because order that.
But I mean, go to an nominated cabinet minister within the first 14 days. I know they are doable because he has all the way from December to January, best way in 7. I'm sure they see a Okuta list to order that. To also constitute the leanest and the most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in 90 days. And also be a problem because OBI campaign Amaobi and Awaba into OBI so it will be a challenge to have a lean government. And this will push your mama cannot push a board, but and who should be a minister, who should be on a board, and also be a challenge. Why are not appropriate to be now so nafe NPP problem, no so be. Also establish a robust code of conduct and standard for all government officials. This is something that Mahama started when he was in power. So, Minister for Code of Conduct, he started it when he was in power. It's no problem. Hold a national economic dialogue to discuss. This is the crux of the matter. Mahama himself, economy no. Yeah, what IMF I say, and IMF has virtually tied our hands behind our back. Into him so I don't cannot fix the economy. So, hold a national economic dialogue, and this will make it up of and for NPP for Legon lecturers, experts, even NPP will be part of this economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. This is something that Mahama started. I can't say 2015 before IMF. No, it was homegrown policy. That was the tag to do a homegrown policy. Again, also within the first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate the hardship in Ghana. I'll be careful if Mahama is doing it. COVID-19 levy, no, they are supported to obey because it's a COVID levy. But levy, looking at the way Ghana, any revenue or Ghana economy, we levy if you want to mark. Project because where are you going to get money? So also obey levy, COVID levy, any levy on bets winning. I know that these are things that he promised, bets no promise here. Emission levy also obey fuel. And also, when it comes to climate change issue, because emission levy, is to factor into climate change issue, a global issue. Again, number 6, within the first 90 days in office, review the taxes and levies on vehicle equipment. This is the mistake NPP for I said, benchmark value they call 50% just to bring the taxes down and appeasing no revenue. But again, it can also work if you cut near maybe which Mahama promises or better cut near maybe to say a free one, you can make savings there into a cut away and you can bring the money to make up.
But sister Fia, I get it. To me, yes, that's good. But the question is, sister Fia, so say when you're 180 something people, right? Okay, that's fine. I said, what was it about the elected DC? Now, after a moment, election. So you see how sometimes the governance and the politics can conflict.
Exactly.
I am a question before say sometimes put yourself in the shoes of whoever is taking those decisions. And it's a balancing now because you have a party to manage, you have a government to manage. And you are telling me, sir, when if they will sacrifice, no matter what your mama, that would be great. So we can I think, sir, you will get the most loudest applause. So when you come with the way most people apply the concept of S-Gracia. Me, I don't like the concept of S-Gracia.
But then how do you see on
yeah, to anybody that I can compare him to public servants and everybody has salary. But when first I back door now, getting down for share S-Gracia, now for money panel. Now after any panel, you say his money is entitled to. If his money is entitled to pay him up front and let me know that this is how much you're paying, so I can hold that MP accountable and see if its output is deserving of the amount the taxpayer is paying on that output. That is how you hold political leaders accountable.
Okay.
How many years the Juma now says the electorate will have problems. NPP says the governance system the way we incentivize people and match the incentives, it's misaligned. And that is what creates a lot of problems for these politicians when they whip power, because the system's not more put in place. It's misaligned. And then you'll be on a sabi. Oba Bama, oh yeah, that or the same or Tiamangu, the Kennedy or the same Kennedy Agyapong public service. That public service, since we don't assume that politicians be about politics have the spirit of public service. That is a big assumption we make. It's not everybody that is coming to this business that have that public spirited service.
That's true. But I mean, sometimes because the point you're making is very serious. I hear my mess up on one and call for me told because baby so baby and two who try as anymore. As much as it was a good campaign message, say okay, money I told people pocket us and then how the mama me you. All the cost later, you know what I'm saying? Just later and shut down baby answer. It's not a problem. Issue number 7 is commence a drafting needed legal amendment to prepare for the implementation of 24-hour economy, which was the flagship program. Now, Muhammad Winnie, Professor Donford research shows is the most popular slogan on the ground. Establish an accelerated export development council to promote exports as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on the needed improvement at the sector. Hana free SHS, free first year. And then number 10, implement a no academic fee policy for all first year students in public tertiary institutions, colleges of education, nursing, training. It's where like we said, our first year, it may not start in 2025. It may start in 2026 because I find other convening conference near the or see on that. Number 11.
So a bounce out and a beating on the promise. And now to buy an annual chassis, and there was all no buy your chassis and a pay.
Try to obey maybe in the second term of the in the first, second term or third term of 2025. Because I also prepare when you face the problem before facing, which was double track near there, and I don't think they want to do that. So I'm sure they will take lessons from NPP for say. 1 or 2 homework, we are some rolling out first year level 100 because already we have a backlog of free SHS for we have so far over 5 million people on my firm. So that backlog is there. They all want to enter university. Who say free first year, everybody will come boom. Where are the facilities? Once already universities need now complaining about lecture halls, number of students. If you want to prepare infrastructure capacity, you have double track maybe a university. So number 11, introduce the following social intervention, free tertiary education for persons with disability, the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mahama Care Fund. I like the way they've captioned this because so far, Mahama Atanos Mahama, we've not had any Mahama policy that has his name. So I think they are trying to take this away from Obamacare, which was one of the biggest Obama policies or the buy in America, which is Obamacare. So this one is Mahama Cares Fund. And number 12, commence the distribution of free sanitary pads for female students in primary and secondary education. This is something Mahama started when he was in power. World Bank of OCKB in order to curb the number of female student absenteeism in school. And that if you go to villages, because villages now, this is the top Mahama policy or the Beba in its first 120 days. Or the Beba. So there's even a lot more. I think it's very ambitious, but you haven't seen, and these are the things that Mahama wants to do in his first 120 days or Beba a power. I don't know, Mr. How do you think he can do it in the first 120? Because I don't know I'm an old timeline.
Sister Fia, you're a former president now, and Mahama, we share politicians who are now to me. He is the most exposed
experience
across all different levels. And you know, I don't have any reason to doubt, sir, or obey the issue, obey no. But I only say that with caution, sir. People must know, sir, Ghana, no, fundamentally structurally, we've had problems historically. And these problems have been compounding. And it's been compounded up to a point, Sister Fia. And then I'm capital market in Yako, Over Kaya, Kufoba, and then Epic. Internet, lower indebted poor country, into Mutima concessional loans. And this was if you know, I see a lower middle income, into Yama concessional loans. It's a Binabushan. Most of Ghana person, we never think we are saying, we are saying, the taxes in there. A chroma now, which I'm a tax now, me paycheck, now, this guy, Sister Fia, which means I'm Panami or dog. Or what's the mean? Me call me who's more final or more way. Ghana phone, you don't pay that amount of taxes, but you want the very same things now. You enjoy what Hanum. Forgetting say we finance those things through our taxes. We pay higher taxes, maybe more the taxes now me try my mutual if you be a catch more Ghana the whole year. And you know, these things don't come at a cheaper price. You must understand this principle. The things that you want to be financed, you know, it comes at a cost. You have to raise that money. And you know, make up what he said, your issues in the said. And it's a budget deficit. No, you can't have a budget. Now, yes, you been $100, and so you see, best spending about $150. $50 extra. And it's all couple bushia. In the parliament now, this year, your mom and Yano, a bit made in year, a bit made in a bonnet, depending on how he uses. But Mindidi say he's a political exposed person. He understands the politics and how things have to work. It's a test. It's a very big test for him because, to me now, when you see here, you know, Sister Fia. Makato say young constitution where executive power near them already know. Parliament no cry or more decent cry or more cry, you can make them less, make them look useless cry because executive power is so strong in system we so if you even have a stronger parliament, it means nothing. You can make them so you who hang parliament and we've seen how they perform. Now we want somebody majority said you or no some whatever he says they will be obliged to do. I want to wish him the best because of the way you Ghana. I say this, even though I belong to the other side, I believe that we have the best approach to develop our country rapidly. And that doesn't mean that I demean other parties or other people's abilities to also contribute to the development of Ghana. I respect that, and I'll give him that opportunity. But what I'm saying is, in the NPP, you know, I'm a Bamiaf and I'll support him any day, anytime. But if the NPP elects a new leader, I'll support that leader. I don't want people to tell me, say, oh, and or they say can I maintain amount. Oh yes, there's no guarantee say Kotwaba next time I can win. And anybody else supporting me will win. There's no guarantee. If the young guys are another candidate will come up that is popular than even the two of these candidates, and I can defeat the previous election. Let's be measured and not try and make it look say Ken Nankasano Crown way defeated because he was running the campaign and campaigning vigorously. Let's give him that respect and not try to say many will be pray about within the NPP. That is part of the game. It's occupational hazard. Politics, no, you must understand that. But we come together. It is the same thing everywhere in the world. There's nothing wrong with that because you're 2 million and internal politics, these things will come up. The most important thing and say when it comes up, we are once our communal campaign. People understand what your shares are. It shouldn't be a problem.
Do you think that
Sister, if you're something my culture say, Alan, on a personal level, I love him, I love his work ethics. That is the style of how I believe everybody should work. I respect him a lot too, but I disagree with some of his political decisions. But you can't see a pet in Ghana, technocrats and then conform power Ghana. Alan, we need 5. You can add him to that 5. I don't disrespect Alan, but I disagree with the political decision. But that doesn't take away the fact that he's not a good man. He doesn't have good potential. He doesn't have capacity, capabilities. He's one of our best talents in that country. If you don't know Alan, across the political divide, politicians now move. I'll put him in the 5. I respect him, but like I said, no, he takes certain decision that I don't feel like it's good. But
should he come back?
Oh, Sister, if you want to say a I don't see why Obama. Obama na be candidate there. I don't.
And they want the must
you know, people will give him that opportunity again.
In the absence of Alan Nomni, I don't know who, because in NDC they himself they're having the dresses and all that. Because I can't be obedient to a Marita blew upon say, I don't know if she has political ambition. I don't pen who say this. Those people need now Joy Fifi Kwete for president. He's
running mate. I'm a student Ketia.
Okay.
Could you tell black and so get to them? I'm not.
Any Marietta,
there be vice president elect.
For about I'm coming to another device.
Yeah,
I think before you go, because I'm not for joining on check. Just before you go, I don't know if we should look at the safe seat or national executive. So, Musita Kesset said Domi Kwabenya, Katie Hammond, or Katie Hammond, I think he's still in shock. Or see, I'm not for the say they will thank him back. But I said, thank you. No, I'm going back. How do you lose? You know, I can see a Chimagogo. NPP strong root, a barrier to conference. How did you people lose?
I'll say you are carrying. Now, I will send you a thing.
Well, but when I really went, I'm getting some.
This is a solid of our lesson.
I don't know if he won, but it's surprised about the major downfall of major candidates. Esla, any other I knew say you have problems. For what time Canada say area of call for the phone doors. If you don't have to play, it will affect you. But you also need art in the super because I think only personable. He's not somebody who is likable, sir. Or no can I say to me too formal. Maybe I've had several encounters with him. Because politics is and are you surprised about that seat? Because my guy won't tell me about 30,000.
Matisa MPP lost Wenchi, so MPP we must begin to ask her. We must go back to our core basis because if we lost Wenchi, I don't know how we'll be losing Wenchi when Buzia, one of our major forebearers of this party.
We are lucky crowd. Someone lose Bantama.
And you lose Bantama the outcast.
You see, sir, where you know, I was here studying. Now,
yes.
This particular way, a big topic, man.
Oh, since the Fiatin is no, because a big topic, another.
Yeah, for what I'll connect you again. Yeah. But I think Wednesday, bet me to us and we'll look at the constituencies in Parliament in here. Know how.
Yeah, sister, if you want to say, baby, I we know your numbers no so. I am numbers no so. If more now the solution, no man got to obviously, some numbers no so. Don't about affect you. Some underlining trend there. Me feel say it's played out a lot in many of our places. But let me also thank the NDC. I think, Sister Pia, they did something maybe on the quiet side because I didn't think that they aggressively campaign. I said it on this platform that I think that this has been one of their most docile campaigns that they've ever done as far as I'm concerned. But that's politics for you, right? Even though they probably knew we were doing something underground or whatever they did. I mean, and I know our people didn't vote. That is why they are getting all these huge margins. So these margins, then I'm an outlier. It doesn't determine the true strength of any party. In this original way, so can say NDC or Doma. Now one should date 10 years. If the two parties are coming out and actually putting their strength to the peak and competing now, and that's why Bobat was trying to compare 2020 to 2024 way. If you look at that trend, you begin to see where NDC are holding and Kasejina. So on the amateur. And 2016, 2024, they are outliers. When you're doing analysis, you have to carefully look at those and separate them and really take what is the normal ones and then see where the strength of the parties lie. And once again, it's a democracy. One will win, one will lose. At this point, they lose you, and we have to be gracious about it. Let's say, or mind there will be so many elections after this. There will be so many presidents after this. Since if you are now, maybe they haven't followed politics. Parties be lose. I'm a winning. More Google Chrome now when you are doing a jubilating. Minimum fear more, but in Penfono more elections, election. Assembly boy about no money arbitrary. Into Mesramo, Mumwa your mama, not only Jumapama Ghana, not Ghana boy. Now accountability now, more say, Sabi, a minimum years ago, NPP for we are for accountability. Your percent no correct. edaho ne nyina adwuma fine na sa nkontompo na wo politics mu no di obi ye se wa ye na etwa atrato so no yebetumi yi politicians who dis nkontompo no yebetumi yi omo fie system nu ama politics no ya sanitize no ni se mo say se be obi awie sika obi ayewe na mo kama na mo kan o me de minim mo aba mo otumi na mo nyatumi a mo mfa mmara no ye adwuma ye nyina no sampa se obi awie sika se na mo kan na se bio wo ka wa sem na no just wo dibem ye obi ombeko no yakọ biebi nsem na no na ye nyina ahwe nsem no na ahwe ne kure wo na yehu ne kure wo ma ebe ma ye nyina no ya ye inform na ye tiro wo you know I am all for accountability. I'm all for all of that because it helps our politics, you know, accountability mechanisms are weak. And if we don't reinforce this accountability mechanism as this here, I think it's about the future of our country. You
said this election, I think you were making reference to parliamentary seats.
Yeah, I'm facing election way, actually, near my baby. Na Oshe Sanya Kona. Me think I was seeing your time now, ye moon pensing because a baby baby one man, even though the other one behind the scenes that ain't mean can walk. But near Yehuno January, no, baby baby one man was say, yeah, the entire ban is even doing himself party in our course. But baby or Honswa, a party no, Oshe Gab on a woman. Any concern get me a bassa. And you know, was say a year on you, but a addition, dear politician, beer. Ubi beer. Send your obey support based or more be do a chi or more or no more nam, Nina account because Obi or no more. We are not there on fine show. It do baby or the bed punish show. It's in I addition, if you say, you know, you see a better way.
Mr. Abati, that's about to also Wednesday because we'll be looking at the parliamentary scene and all that. The big names know why they lost on the ground, what happened there. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm not about to send a message. I'm happy MPP. I see the MPP for lose here. And I know that shows you the resentment before and I will perform. But what about good evening?
Good evening, she said, yeah.
So when that's the first thing I want to ask you.
Yeah, fine. Say a catcher say, come na man for the Coco tour banner, and yet free SHS ni all the items now professor and listed the other time. The catcher people free SHS abeye nejuma. Anna Mama Swaka said he's going to maintain it. The only thing is he's going to review it and then make it better. And they say, what baby no be this free SHS ni better out there. Then I don't know. The whole election was about a com. Yeah, a com. Inti me kaya nana ya okasembi say on to me and so.
But hold on the thought on Nana the MPS come back. Let me show you this. Why is the voice not coming?
Always taking credit for all the good things of the Electoral administration. And this
it's not coming. I wanted to show the video of 2 for the catcher. A person,
Nanado, yeah.
Catcher almost said, about 2016, only any brand come and a 2 year.
And a 2 year.
The company any brother 20 out pepe. That's one of the classical 2 for the prophets. That's one of the things that NPP never listened. And he said this in 2018. And that's why they have this disgraceful and unprecedented loss. What was
you know,
remember.
What else? Oh, microphone. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm saying Nana Kofi then maybe an interrupt to them, but your son can't be an American.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm saying Nadian was interrupting you.
Yeah, economic I said Nana say enough time and find solve some of the problems because it will take a longer period to solve it. Ghana for just no. So also you have the men. Into duration now the best of the problem in the Ghana ordinary Ghanaian only the open solution. Say magic be now baby now solve the problem and no ordinary Ghanaian into no say sometimes they see the change kakra no more out. Oh, Baumia, why magic be and all these things, then they start praising themselves. And it doesn't matter. Ghana they offer solution now. Now because you see Russia and Ukraine, you see they will be happy. Say Omudi or Dina no. It will settle down for now. I'm sure that the mission in Ghana, no, they will be happy to see it there. Will be blame you on Mudium. It's a good thing.
Okay.
Now, as Gracia ni sa 11 na Mahama so between 1 man who 120 days. Say 1 year, say you better take boxes no. Intino mo obia underrate Mahama say ontumi ye de adwuma de obebo adwuma pa na operation loot no so no ye encouraging ni say asofo any pastor obeba ni nchen say oba be pa na church say oh forgive and forget and all these things no onche no he's a criminal. Any pastor bia na ohini bia oba be frantuma say oba say oba be pa no he should be arrested. So and message I did Mama Hama into Sadia no oh father for all Nisanya Manina. It's over. And now Prof so say NDC phobia ko via a BB or warehouse be.
I tamale GH1 report here tamale free such as warehouse na money aduane they broke into it. And almost say And then there was another one or Accra near Nra. No, so more assembly. This is assembly cover TV in the fridge in here.
No, and no, they are not say be must a conflicting report though. If you must say you be near their Betty, say Baumia winnie and Wumbefa.
Accra, the one.
Yes.
Okay.
In the areas, I don't amount for taking advantage. No, must okay, so they are Betty, the Babefa. It's young Chema police for no Omunia investment.
Yeah, no, I think the police watch about 16 people. In connection with the looting, no matching comfort, so they've been fast.
Okay. And the other issue NPP for the losing election is that they didn't take one responsibility for their actions. And Kennedy Agyapong said they should have apologized to Ghanaians, and they never did. They were still pompous. We are breaking the aid, we are this. They never took any responsibility. Cry and Ghana for be brave before. So what Borman say? Why you still didn't take responsibilities for your action there? Then we are sorry. They can't work with you, and it's natural instinct. Nobody can work with people like this because they've tolerated you enough for 8 years. They just want to get rid of you. And you know. Our party or Ashanti region, it's a good signal to all the political heads that Masa Ubedin Kosiasema will just let you go and punish you as well. And you know, what
I'm not saying, like you said, it's a good thing. Politicians, it's a sign to everybody who deal rough and people will get rid of you because you can't take the people for granted all the time. How could be? Good evening.
Good evening, Sister Ifya. My namesake. What was that? I've been talking about this. Look, the election is not about the projects, the commissioning, the whatever, but it's about those on the ground. It's about the economy. And I remember in the beginning of the year, you were talking about things that are going on that NPP should listen. They didn't listen. You were telling them about that. Look, NDC are making inroads into Ashanti region because they know, say, even if they get 28% to 30%, they will win the election. They didn't listen. You said all these things, and it's like you categorize everything that they needed to do, but they didn't listen. I mean, unfortunately, Prof was saying things as if he's denigrating the intelligence of the Ashanti voter.
Exactly.
Do you understand? You see, the thing is, like Kwame Nkrumah said something, the Ghanaian is not as sober or as stupid or as way as you think. But at the right time, the Ghanaian will show you who he or she really is. You see, this vote, it was Ghana against NPP. Because NDC got their votes.
Yeah, 2020 votes.
They only added 100,000.
Yes.
Because 2020, they got 6.2 million. And now they got 3.3 million. So they added just over 100,000. That one for floating voters. You understand? So they were able to get their people out to vote. So it was the whole Ghana. You see, with all the arrogance, with all the impunity, with a president who come in and tell a chief to get up. Can't you see them around? And then his bodyguards using his left hand to motion our traditional chief. What you say? I mean, no matter what, there were so many things that the Akufo-Addo that we knew as Minister of Justice, who even in his office, you cannot even come and do your private printing, photocopy. But then Akufo-Addo changed totally when he became president. Look at the issue of your friend is saying, Cecilia Dapa's case. You brush it aside. You even praised her. I remember that's one thing between Akufo-Addo and Mahama. I remember Victoria Hamman made a suggestion that I want to own $1 million. It was a suggestion. No, she didn't even put her plan into practice. Mama was able to sack her. You see, so that to stop that perception of corruption. But this is where a woman, $1 million has been stolen from her house that she didn't even recognize by her maidservants, plus other millions of CDs. But you come around and then write a letter that I know you and I believe in you, that at the end of the day, you will come clean. Oh, you see, and it's all these things Ghanaians know. Look at the protest. First, fix the country. How you treated these young people will vote, and they voted. Look at how you treated this Galamsey protest. Look at how you treated these Julobi House protests. These are the young people for the first time they were going to vote. But you treated them with the police, imprisoned some of them, put them in remand for unnecessary charges. But you are the so-called lawyer, a human rights lawyer. We remember those days that when we were in Kolebu, Kumi Prekon, whatever, you led all these things. But when is your time? You didn't spare them. Oh, and apart from that, other issues. We talked about NPP and then Wayne Ade. Look at the NPP national executives. Which of them has even organized your friends' elections? Which of them? All the executives need to go. From Justin Kodia or whatever in team, or they all need to go. Today, I was listening to Cynthia Morrison, and she said it. And she was telling Nanaya Abrifo, said, no, I said, Nanaya, these people, they didn't even come to my constituency. They didn't even go to constituency to help people. They didn't. I said it. Exactly.
And number one, Kabuni experience in covering national elections.
They have no experience. Because Akufo-Addo putting his people there. They have no experience. It's unfortunate that Bawumia is a gentleman, but he has been a sacrificial lamb by Akufo-Addo. Unfortunately, he's a good gentleman, but he's a weak candidate. Yeah, he's a good gentleman, but he's a weak candidate. And he didn't have the support of the party base. No. Because you see, the thing is, the party base itself did not like him as a candidate. An establishment candidate who has been foisted on them. That is number one. Number two, the arrogancy of the party members. Look at Anodompre. I mean, I was happy when I wanted to know whether Anodompre won or lost.
What about Esla?
If after Esla, there is my celebrity crash, so I'll leave her for a while. But Anodompre, a whole environmental engineer, to come and stand in parliament. We're talking about Galamsey, and he said, you polluted more water than us. And then Dr. Ayer talking about Galamsey would never stop. You see, with that impudence, when we have the medical and dental association coming out to tell you that babies are being born with deformities, teachers, lecturers are going on strike because of the tone deaf president, Mintishi. I don't mind. But do you think that the people, and they are watching? And I like the way Ghanaians are becoming very discerning. Nobody should belittle the Ghanaian voter. Nobody. Even those that decided not to vote, it is also another protest.
Yeah, it's another protest. Yeah,
it's another protest. Yeah, it's another protest. Like when Prof was saying, I know Prof is still in shock. Yeah, he's in shock, just like the president is in shock. It's a protest. We are telling you, say yes. Yeah, me to MPP man, yeah, me to NDC Mukrana. I won't vote for NDC or I won't vote for MPP, but then the men took
okay.
It's another form of protest.
No, I mean, point well made. Mr. Che, good evening.
Good evening, Isef. Yeah, nice to see you.
Let me take your views on this.
Yeah, unfortunate, I know Prof is speaking from emotional pain, not from his legal, normal thinking. Yeah, I'm sorry, Prof, they me respecting, but because we should not ignore the intelligence of the Ghanaian. We belittle the intelligence of Ghanaians. The world is open. We are fact-checking things. We are listening. We are paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot use things as a camouflage. And today, when I listen to NDC's acceptance speech and everything, they realize that. The conversation, and that is what I want. Now NDC knows that these people are not going to we cannot fool them anymore. We will not wait until a few minutes later. We will start to put up things to say, yeah, baby, there be.
In fact, Obi message was sending anything. Ashanti region voters were even more triggered and angered by some projects now no commission in Greater Accra. Yeah. They felt like, World Bank, any Eastern region. I said, we have one cry, any better. But they don't even have one single project completed in Ashanti.
Yeah, my insulted, my to say, Sebio, Ghana, they were listening to all these things. The Japadia conversation that went on, Ghanaians listened. People heard what happened. Look, most say the economy was bad, the whole world is hard. But we are seeing you putting up buildings with money, living lavishly. Isevia, we all belong to the same school platform, so we all belong to the same community. We all go to the same church. We know how your lifestyle has changed all of a sudden when your party came to power and you're working in the Flagstaff house. We see it. And it's a wo say, ewiasia ye din, COVID aba, and a nyomemwa ye din. Now we can't say na yen yehwe wa brabo a wo bo. In collaboration with that, no, it's inconsistent. You cannot sell that to the Ghanaian. I was hearing Nanaya said, I'm like, Nanaya, you are saying all of that, but the people around Nanado, all the over 100 ministers that he has appointed, over several people working in Jubilee House. Do you know how these guys are living? These are our schoolmates. These are our church members.
Well, classic example,
Exactly.
His wife took the divorce.
Yeah.
This is a public document.
These are our fellow group and platform. We know how they used to live, and we know how they are living now. So you cannot use COVID to tell me, sir, things are hard. No, when we can clearly see you living lavishly, when we can clearly see money being thrown around. Look, how can you use? I don't know whether this is proven or not, but we have all heard, sir, Baumia spent $240 million on E-Gate. I am sorry. And Mahama stood on platform to say, sir, I spent $250 million to build the entire Terminal 3. And you are spending $240 million. As to whether this is true or false, these are things.
I have not verified those numbers, but
these were comments that came out. They have not come out to debunk it. So when you hear these things, and over the years, all of the things that have happened, and Ghanaians are listening, they are watching, and the inaction of the president, all of that piled up. And Timuya campaign on almost Remo. Yeah, there was one of the things that was funny, right? There was a woman that was wearing Baumia's. I watched a video. A woman that was wearing Baumia's t-shirt, and a newscaster BBC and said, "Can you mention one policy of Baumia?" Then the woman lifted up her t-shirt. Then it was Mahama. You see, then that alone tells you the deception that was there. Of a king no catch you on the ground. A man for Beko to a bad minister. Massa, Ghanaian, say I know.
Me
Say I know. Let no politician fool Ghanaians. I want NDC to know this. Let me tell you, do not take the Ghanaian for granted. This mandate you have, use it well. This is one advice I'll give to Mahama. Look, Mahama needs to bring his brother on board to lead the civil engineering firm of Ghana. Look, here, Kufuor the Nini Abaye, Emani be defense minister. Kufuor the Nini Abaye, Ibrahim Mahama. We all know that this guy has the engineering firm, the machinery, the brain, and we know that he has the money. We need his help.
So, official appointment in government.
We need his help. We need his help. He started no transfer or drill or do. Yes, let's challenge that man to leave a monument in Ghana.
Okay.
These are people. Trump buy why employ millionaires no nyina. Say ye sika ye ni bi. What you say? Enti omo betimi aboa no. Omo form nyina mbra mo mboa. Kakra bi obetimi aye no. So to me stop it galams. Minim say economy ni dia. Near working nyina dodo na untimi nyame maka kire odeda. But at least no, they should enforce something on Galamsey. Ibrahim Mahama have that knowledge. He has that resources. He can gather those youth, get a road constructions. The youth doing Galamsey. Mun form mun koya road construction. Now mun employer mun no mun fill holes no. No mun I just think that they can do something to solve this Galamsey problem.
I think I'll say Mahama Paunia Bra, so that at least they can lead some crusade. Hey, you want it? Good evening.
Yeah, hello, Stephia. Good evening.
Thank you.
Having said the first thing is as a Democrat, you know, I would just have to wish to congratulate NDC for their victory. Democracy and a contest in particular is always one thing. And yet they are back when they but sometimes it's the margin that shocks everyone. And so you lose we internally we knew say from 2022 neighbor a formula adding. And we thought say maybe we have been able to change things. Now so massa. And congratulations to NDC. And I wish the President Mahama of 2024 to 2028 will be much, much better than the President Mahama between 2013 to 2017. That's all I would say on their victory. But it's their moment they should enjoy, because a NPP in retain here, I don't think they can enjoy until when you understand the dynamics of politics here. You shouldn't worry, and you are not going to cry over a spellmate. However, there are so many things. Sometimes, and maybe too. You go back, you undertake introspection, and that introspection it will unravel a lot of things. You say a lot of people wake away. So there are just sometimes you know because a friend is say bring games. President Kufuor perform well. Upon the year, President Kufuor performance put you up. President Kufuor put to every performance. Maybe NDC cry will come and tell yourself the fourth Republic he did maybe he's the best, but yet still NPP lost. And the only difference at times NDC near majority, NDC be taking majority. Those are the catastrophe for now. So that's the difference. But even if you lose by the slimmest of margin, you have lost. There is no can say you can say it be a chabi. But why are we trying to make it look it's so you lose extensively?
Because we no might 100 seats cry in parliament. I think that's what makes it dramatic. And the fact that the turnout was so low in your own
that's what I'm coming to. You see, the point is yenya to abawie ya then people said to conclude. Any mo party na ma ba mu bi mo party enye say did NPP not say the same thing to President Mahama in 2016 after the elections? It's sometimes not like that. Sentiment in say
normal teasing,
yes, a sentiment in say there will be time a sentiment in a back of form. Say the NPP. But do you know Sania Mana President Mahama so Babayano? Do you know now no want to be Mama Casabia, Miss Ramomami chance you? Everything no Ghanaian society amano, everything. Yamau absolute majority. And the yamau was obaba be implement your policy. And two parliament here, won't be make mini numbers and denominate one day.
Yeah.
And as a mean to be changing policy way, people will judge you. At then opposition is no NPP is no. They will also begin to tell you who can wait, then they will compare say 2016 when they came. Yes, ye way, and I check and balances and then comfort but mean look at it, say, who can be say NPP in 2020 no. Look at your vote margin. I think say me try to have baby. The amount of NPP vote in 2020 is 7,730,586. As of 2024, year to 4,657,304. Difference of 2,073,283. This is the difference. And this is the same thing, the difference. I person me quote numbers.
100,000. You check 100,000.
The difference here, 115,205. 215. 115,215. But the point is, even President now really way no. Look at the margin now on the air day. Me fan say, what the nyaye. That means that only favor even from the kind of saying a floating voters in the crowd. One said because
this is a coup d'etat by NPP supporters.
Agree.
Yeah.
I'm only analyzing it based on the facts. I say yes, your money sounds to say be a NPP a dandy because people wanted some section of NPP for any bino move free. Now move free. That's it. And now they want president out. Fine. President call. NPP wanted to allow issue can all the issues about. But then the question is now maybe a new crop of people will come.
Okay.
The Oma Banosono, it will help say people will then begin to look at them. Oh, so when nobody afraid their member, when nobody a member, and the comparative analysis and assessment will begin. Obi catch them and say Baumia and the class Baumia back the next 4 years. It's a lie. And I say it's not a it's not a proper proposition. Okay. NDC 2028, NDC the new candidate President Mahama cannot change the constitution. The reason being said, President Mahama, if you can absolute 200 you can pass all the legislation, but Ghana is practicing a codified constitution. And
when the constitution is subject to interpretation, what can the case because Supreme Court interpreting whether the tenure of office for the president should be 8 years or 4 years, running consecutively, or when there's a truncation of the 8 years. So the president, so a big side of the court to be the Supreme Court can interpret it anyway. The Supreme Court. Not Supreme Court. 8 years, no. So we have 4 years here. That means Mahama can do another 8 years.
And notice that they okay. Above the American side. American Constitution and UK and beyond here practicing. But what I'm trying to say is but we are BBBR says here what I was trying to arrive at is that Ghana is practicing a codified constitution, and that the codified constitution, there are always entrenched provisions, and that entrenched provision, one of them.
When entrenched position, when can this issue of 10 and entrenched, there be?
For 2 terms, you know.
And you're entrenched.
Okay.
I can't entrench clauses, no.
I need to check. I may be wrong.
No.
But for the sake of ABR,
they are only subject to changes and amendments upon referendum. What's it? But when you want to go to the Supreme Court for interpretation, I said this assembly is near entrenched. So we have to go for a referendum. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, and no be that may drive with you, but so say entrenched because of say mention that inquiry. I will take your words on that and say and that could be another thing. But finally, answer na make on. There are high NPP problem year 2016. It is gonna be the same problem NDC betimenya. The different piece there are high expectation on President Mahama now, or there will be. The reason being why a former president and I was say the experience our Bumano and onya that kind of that sympathy now. Ebia because omubida and yam fan channel because all 4 years and at the same was our even President Mills the Kakrakraka and that kind of sympathy ne be obenyano on and conform money that opportunity no. The whole idea no will be waba deliver because what me who saying the campaign train no you said the experienced driver the steer animal you can hold the steer and anya fe na abema obika excuses so all those things me believe say eyade ebeko atia ebeko against it because the expectation is so the world we need when it comes to human society sometimes managing expectation also become very difficult because people feel say you contribute to normal 8 years and opposition and for financially they contribute a lot and how are you going to manage them? How are you going to talk to them? And as a the question becomes you are also going to select new crop of people. Almost they need to market themselves. They need to also sell themselves for the general public to accept them. By that time, NPP have vote now. Now, who say and NDC vote to because you are looking at 18.5 million on the registered voter. Now say be a nipa kakra bi na toya, and even Ashanti region is about 60%. So say be a 2024 no, if everything come to play, all things being equal, no be a strong word to it is still going to be a very tough battle for any president.
One time I say, no hope say NPP can come again if they do their homework. Oh my papa, mama, good evening, Akaba.
Good evening, Steph here.
Thank you. Adam also.
Nyamiadum. Yo, MPP party na me de make binenia SC. Said the last week I said Ghana de e can puntu nko dia enka 2018 no. Enko so hold power no. Because na a democracy Lawrence ba ye military rule mampeni nkofo ebese sign ma yehu say even obi akra bi too much na dwen san say ye nyina ye oman ne ma enti ye hwe ne man so odi betoto akwa mu a eno antumi ama Ghanaian say ye koto aba ama MPP asante na so satan na ahokyera ye de aba wo hwe sa ahokyera na ye wo mu 2007 and 8 na enye bi na yehu no say no. Enti ohwe time nso a MPP co-position so na ohwe gaba even kura no e run off Akufo-Addo time wa run off ye mfam free 2007 and 8 Akufo-Addo be hodu MPP mini we ntime nya adwuma mempe we e na partner start say e good say partner co-position won kwahye partner foforo mra even omomudi ba omiachi the breakra kumemuno no mu pese mu opposition.
Oh, okay.
E idea that ho for long. I feel na time aso say party no omo free say on betuma yi ni ama the sanity and say partner ni munyama ne kitano no a obia TMPP a na say NDC kura say enye party ya wo obi but say as NPP NDC kura benya that glory ne than NPP nenke ba ne say ye koto aba na Asante region NDC yetuma G6 even emfa bono to ahafo enye bibi ntia mentimi we nya adwuma na ye nkama sem no ene de ya be wie sei ndi say ye nyina emo mpae ema mahama so wo wi ni because majority kita ni the person ye Ghana bia no betima ya nsre nyame no wan hu ye mobo na mahama enya adwempa ma Ghana ye kwai who kosa this efia kakra me be kan say
first 120 days now ya adwem papa be bo Ghana with the majority that he has.
Yeah yes obi antimi nka say ye mampani that say or bedi o man ni so bio no okita adwen bone ni mo ya na nipa atwa ahohia anyone kasa o motive so ho se wo anya adwene pa na nipa betwa wonti man tia wona ye nya president asabe current president we ya abahye bo se e man no wotetu mo ya abahye bone on tiama ni obi ye mfomso wo abema wo sanke bia wo twe na so no wo krokro no o mampani kufu anye saa wakopa cha okra no oso se wagye atonse wafom dia ene wa akotwere nye saa me yiwadi nti na na kufu ado se discipline wo ba ebrochifu ye die hu atono so na ewe ba omi amedie me ka about 7 to 8 years ni because omo buy na me hu so mo planti omo prepare ba omia se mene no a coming ha me ho because so ma wo ye adwuma mo anya adwuma economy no a ye de heri wo no wa faili nti u edi yan na be ka che Ghana for me yentu ba sen ko na sa bisma yi ba ya Ghana for na nkebesu si ehia ba omia sen ko mra ba ye say enye easy na NPP for no so ntra ho say ba omia me take over Uncle Trans said ye kai no Mr. Paul kai no na onwedwe ne ho bia da bi says so ni ha onyini nkwa akire bia obetimi abaye bibi abo oman no aha nti ba bia ye dro die ase de ase nye de nti emfa ne saa ene ye say ye the new trend eba ye elections ma na ase ya batu NDC man nyi omu de da se motumi akọ ahafo Ashanti region, Eastern region, aji votes, aji seats. Na the vote ane north mo de ebio. Sa na munsu ma anye nieme yi a ebesi munsu mbe lusu 18 seats no ebi kwa na mo nya one kra. Enti ye nyina infantry ehofo. Na ye hwe say.
I know how to for kind not here abano Ghana for the come any.
Oh yeah. This is a common. Yeah, common. And a party nankasa no NPP nankasa no. Kitadipa bakope. The nyama you go so sa. In the affair don't be NPP no. Can it name nipa bako? Ye German for 16 years.
Okay.
8 years opposition.
I'm gonna say now only have you cabin. Good evening.
Mr. Via Medasi, Yamishra Opa. Obi nipa bebra bechra o madwin, ba me madwin ye different. Ghana for abana o mokotro ye no. Wo hwe na wo ti ase pa. Wo de hwe senia ade ne koye no. NDC for boa wo mo ho say war no mo de ba Ghana. Because NDC Oma dwina omo dwin ye nyina ne se saba no oma anweni a esese nipa wu esese omo sei no ma ba NPP tie dia me kire no edie na si wo ayawa so edie na na ekoso aba ne ye ekoto ba bia obi abewura no office NDC for say obi the ballot box aba be che Police fua guram akoka se bibia ni ho omo se no omo bobo glass e ho nka ba bia ye to aba ne ho yanko boase soja ni kuratuo ya si chinchin a gise etuo no ya gifri ni nsem Sister Fia, idea na ekoto. Se Ghana abana ye ekoto. NDC for what the hwese nkanti MPP for pampa. Se what ye nyamo bo abanwie. Mu betimi aba beka se we ya ye age. Enso MPP for ankasa won hu emema bia wo mu face wo mo. Wo de Sister Fia funny fact was say even now say MPP member eka say omo be sorry empo miracle ka say NDC for say omo move nko electoral commission no abodi so ba be ka say MPP emma ne obi ko ho MPP ni bi anko ho because MPP for year wo ma dwene say oman no na musi mu bebu oman no na musi mu pe oman no na musi because musi mu we ni o say yan declare mu win dia ene anya ade say asumdue beba MPP for say mumfa mumra mebu oman no enti nyina na jadi na Sister Fia yenye ye beto abana mo bebo yen ya ma meto a mo bebo yen enti say yenye dai say aba ye kwoto ye say nyanim guase enye ayia se Ghana da beni akwoto apa eni pe ba be vote ye NDC for nko a because NDC for aba wo mu be vote no 2020 no uhwe mukura nuru uhwe mukura no a nuru
enu say eduri extra hand
minim se ebro so ba ko na se bi obi o hono ma NDC for bebre ka so mkoto aba ena ye ka se floating voters e koka wo mo a eka ba we go dey ahwe wo dey ya ahwe police station no mi tie ketu no
mi no dey man koto a mo dey
wo si wo mo to a ye we ne kura na o mo mpene wo mo si wo dey ahwe aspa so wabo ballot box si ho wo si ani mu hwe sei electoral commission ni si oh obi a what won crop for ati wo si no this a motani ko say MPP ni se nyatwe montan asukwa and this for ebetimi aba be gina sokwa because wo nim de o ma applying wo nim de o ma ye timi de
we enye genuine because of
me yes enye genuine but ehuna wo mo dey start here no MPP for your ma dream say because almost MPP for try ya and can say me be si Ghana no and here wo dey to wo asinetie say empo obi a wo bunu ahafo ye start about one na ye kan na obi a wo ye chairman watu ni kan no woko ye kan aba ni enyan kan wie yo no watu ni kan no woko ahafo mem because any pana omo meto aba no koko frewe ya wasi mi nkona mi nkowu mi nko yese because a member omo nam no enye member wo de Sister Fia wo de Sister wo de what election chipache soja ni kretuo pa and this ni betimi afesi no wo Sister Fia de
I think it was one of the bad
Sister Fia nye honko o ugwa tie kaswa mi say Levio adia na ye kano ani emfiti asia no NDC for say samo ba be say ya declare ya winner ani die besi Fia what me say me ka tell ma me say mo mpie me ka tell me nuanum say mo mpie NDC for Fia dia me pese me ka nyina ni say o man ne ya dia mamo monye ma yenhwe say wo hunu kwan a yayiyi wo hu hospitals a yesisi wo hu schools a yesisi ye bompa ye John meye bigger than the Akufo-Addo ye no ye nyina ye babo ye nsem e di amano na ye nyina ya ka say NDC ntena so for 100 years ye den a oman ni ye die e na ye pe medase
na me na ati baby o hine good evening
Sister Fia.
Indeed. Would they also sponsor for Chrome or Chimda? Indeed, I then and I chim down for one to
Because I mini penny back, say, It was Ghana against NPP. I wouldn't say Ghana, entire Ghana against NPP. No, it was NPP against NPP.
It was NPP against NPP.
Yes. You know, I was monitoring the elections from early morning. Any other, I was getting calls. And it's the fair to interest you to know, say, maybe not me hano. Now I'm in crowd for the premier. Is the Omoko Franco for Musomo Kotwaba, almost Pesca. And I'm saying, no, scouts, you release this guy then. Amamo. Why don't you give ABA, Obi Oho TNT? Because the ideology say me Pesca Sama Kotwabano originated from NPP. That archaic policy na ye war and constitution ma. This any packet to be na parliamentary primaries. You could uni presidential primaries. You Kotwaba ekoyi sa parliamentary primaries now. Omo sikake sie PM no. Ene niema PM no. Enti sister via obi Kotwaba ekoyi o MP. Say o medi party na keke. Waje be 5,000, waje 10,000. Ene mention about 20 do a wa ma miska menyede. And it will interest you to know, say, people travel from Accra, Kumasi to Odan. So I'm Kotwaba. Wako party office. Mummy TNT. Almost a Kotwaba bra. There be only Kotwaba be a man farmer. Funny TNT mano. Non con Kotwaba. On send a unga diako. Almost first mano. So do you expect the person to go and vote? Almost said that in a so one aspect of it, day of election, anything about 2:30 a year. And I'm a catcher, me offer a bako. Say, on free home coffee. Yeah, because we
not that line.
Yeah, police station be a year. Police station bako. Nipa trouble about 1,400. As at 2:30 to 3. Then nipa kotono. Enu 200.
Wow.
And after we monitor from Kumasi, Ashanti region, Eastern region now, the same trend. So you could clearly see, say, the pain now, to me, one will say, you call grassroots elections up to the national elections, to the flag bearership from 2022, they banning them. So the pain a woman, any other no, we couldn't solve it. Jeff couldn't solve it. Where Kennedy Agyapong na nana say na can ba platforms be just for the cameras. I could say that because when you say somebody is supporting the party, we are talking about the operations of the party. And it's if you would the church, when we talk of operation, that is the anchor of the party. And Kennedy didn't do that. And into those people, who they look at it across all the big whips are almost sorry taba omiachi. Kennedy vow said they will lose their seat. They all lost their seat. They all lost their seat. Northern region seat a reclaiming some time ago. Now you can't factor. And he said it. Sometimes maybe a open secret. We shouldn't just tackle ourselves. Any can say one in town can say, oh, lose 2008, no. This is a disgraceful defeat. It means that at the matter. Airtime. Why could you lose within that margin? On say, is if you show no, me theater be na say man fra na nge bia me e be na ma e but me monitor na me share comment me nua no ye den etrugu ho e bi mo hot me say genuine concerns. Sometimes you raise a concern, you pick a phone, you call. Me say me name MP, me kwesi akwakasa be say what say honorable 2020 campaign away here, you are not doing it. House to house now call you are not doing it. Only you go.
I had Obi Saba had the cancer. Minimum Paco, or the cancer or Bagana and saying, Nanifie, I was just so empty for about 3 times. As well before
we lost touch totally. So, meanwhile, the pictures you were claiming now, quite 2008. The mistake now, and one year could repeating the worst. And to say MP senior, they lost touch. Oh, it's acquired there, no go area. Oh, or down there, no go area. Or down here, no go area, fine. But now, 2020, we lost whooping 7,000 plus votes in order compared to 2024.
In 2024,
2024 MP, because you now onya 26,000 plus, and they onya 19,000.
Across board, supporting now is granted.
You see, these are some of the things, and you could clearly see, say, one, though Bawumia did his best, Say fine, Obefre Ken, Obefre Dr. Anemo, Obefre we Obia say you should come on board. Let's help together. Then fine, he did his best. But the point is, other people, the big waves in the party now, they still have that boss now. They couldn't calm down. They couldn't calm down. Point two, is if ye di politics, ye wuye tunu, ye co elections, ye national elections, ye presidential elections, no campaign no, is for the flag bearer and his team. And now parliamentary elections no is for the party executive from national to constituency. Parliamentary elections and look at it. Jeff Kodia. Jeff Kodia. Kodia. I don't know. Yeah. Nana B. Na a vice na a running mate na Udinechi. Meanwhile, you should have moved the seat from Accra, the secretary seat no, from Accra to Ashanti region to stay there and go with your team house to house, every corner to corner. We didn't do that. Okay. We didn't do that.
And they blame the national executives on the Bemo.
And your Monkwa.
Okay.
Why not? The presidency. The huge blame is for the presidency. 2022 they bar say sound you can refer to through Yankasa MPs. Authority aye. Any other no. So the ordinary Ghanaian will say there. The general Ghanaian will say there. Why MP for crack? Because they say as many DC for Kenya. So they say no crazy biana. They say when we see Canada BB. Almost said that the perception. Oh, I say Odan Champions was the catcher was a bonichi for when you need because some in so no more. And now your own MPs and I'm sorry at you. That scene there by it was very huge. And the party's mistake. You could ye or say chairman Sabunsu, every parliamentary leadership, no, it was a huge error.
No, say chairman Sabunsu, nothing I didn't go over so unity. How was that an error?
It there be say or not call for the different, but say within the parliamentary setting, he commanded the respect. And you because of unity, and then this focus no, how do you to me match say chairman Sabunsu?
Okay.
I don't know because he has his way. Or say chairman Sabunsu say, let's put everything aside. He has that integrity. No
yeah, but what would his role in parliament have done to stop parliament seat in the game?
Would be also Nanka end time parliament in many CC, Nanka to me again.
Yeah, but you still lost the seat. I don't see the correlation between
we lost the seat because we couldn't handle situations. And these MPs, you see, that delegate election, they because almost expanded electoral college, delegate elections, not parliamentary way, say, why would you go for Katie Yamon again in Adanzasoka? Look at the age. Why would you go for a former health minister again? You see, and there might be Honoma. NDC, one of the things I said, they learn. And mistakes be Honoma said they deal with that be higher. And say don't get you going to the next from Casa. This is how we are going to do it, and we will do it no matter what. And it is helping them. And this if you are too interested to know, say, and this no opposition, Emma TNT say Jikoto. Now the money has been released now. And this is the most I don't know. I just don't want to use those words.
Because the same thing happened in 2008. NPP for a moment.
And the same mistakes. The same mistakes, no. And I said, and MF, before me landed on. Now somebody was saying, say, Baumia factor, Baumia some rebel man as I say. To me, no, honest truth, Baumia is a fine gentleman with huge integrity. But the point is, if you look at the votes, how he anticipated back from the Zongo caucus. The Muslim communities in the cry didn't come. Every police station, the NPP wouldn't say 5 executives every police station. Bakunya zero. Where was the executives? They didn't vote.
Is it because they were confused about his Muslim status?
That is the point.
You see, because South Philadelphia move was a wrong move.
Why? Who advised him to go there in the first place? Yes. 2028 is a no-go. It's a no-go for bringing Baumia back. It's a no-go. We shouldn't even bother ourselves to bring Baumia back. That's what my kind of opinion.
Yo, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. I didn't have fresh loss into Yahoo. Yahoo. Hey, Fred, I'm not good evening. Hello, Fred. Fred, I'm out.
Hello, Sophia. Sister Fiatinka.
I told because when you need freezing,
Okay. It's your name, my Ghana.
Yeah, that's it.
NPP, about Mulusian, in Nana, near percent NPP useful. None of Nana, a buy. In a Nana, non for discipline, Ghana. But I'm not buying a Bay West. Wababe West, and a 2. Kabian Kabino, too much.
Fred, I was saying, can't be an answer there.
Can't be Nanado, either be sick or minus or no. Oh, yeah, dear, more mine. It's a national category who could see. Ghana for CMP was a chinchina maye. Galam say, say or minus assay. I said, where you are considered one territory. One cassa o minister, finance minister for that, Ghana for CMP was a chinchina on one and transfer. On the Ghana for new company, Nana, own fuel, be a canoe to mo. And will be a channel. And all your pay. Yin Nani a can say up 27 December, the do. No one the better say 7 Ghana for you need 1960 million to say oh 21st century internet and normal cheap. And this is the first time GBC one announced with you know, and then we be within 5 seconds not a drew baby. And to say, oh, yeah, they're not gonna for catch us say, I dear, we yampa, a year Ghana for a door by Yana Ubo minor, and they are my more minor farmer 7. Watching for Abusiano, baby, and only at Timabusian penny or Ghana so. It is a oh, yeah, dear, not a catch us I do yampa, also with tea. Sounds never catch NDC for. They say Ghana night at that one. 7 Saturday Nomano, and I am an NDC become for NPP. Because in a modern world, among past I do answer. The same thing as all the mistake said Nando the same thing. You best have to edit your woman. Cecilia and you share dear. And I say, Big Napaco, your person man economy. It's not on Penny Mahama, Bana Obano, Omebu Ghana, Mamu, Mani Mubupata Mamu. The Pesse Cachanano, Omebu Ghana Mamu, and your pata Mamu. Because it's a Ghana no, you need AB, Medasi.
Yo, Fred, and now I see baby, internet no quite freezing. Sorry for that. And med oba so but where you not to so mama good evening Akwaba.
Good evening, Sister Fia. Patrol where there.
I don't know so.
Nyakopa the moye pa we the betcha Ghana for near that Asante for so as I said ja o ma she en munyam futu eja yetu omofo sa omofai and NPP for so ye catch we gave them the warning say
I think one about how can say Ashanti region and Niti region should punish them.
I told them say if you want say this is the time if Mikacho said this is the era, these 3 years has been a very tough and rough for Ashanti region and even Ashanti camp, all because of lack of development in the region. So it gave an opportunity for people to disrespect and ridicule Ashanti people. So even if you give them t-shirts, they will just go and vote for you. Now, NDC for also Hamai on it, and it worked for them. So imagine, say Ashanti region, projects, but I don't know the market be a commission Ashanti region, not even a market and not even an interchange. But now Omokaso, they've done so many roads, they've done so many, they built a Agenda 11 hospitals and whatever. But Kotie Asante for now, Omokase, there was nothing of that sort. They've not seen any development, anything I'm on my uncle. And that's also the powerhouse of your voters. A honor man for Babetua ba sister bibi. The party, every party was focused in Ashanti region. Some was spending even a month in Ashanti region. They knew what was going on there. Ghana has about it's not based on some free education. I was telling you the economy was part of it. Infrastructure is also part of it, and jobs are also part of it. And our Kuma said the economy factor worked and the infrastructure also worked in Ashanti region. Almost businesses, they were having challenges with their businesses, taxes, and even the dollar rate. Because Ashanti region, amount for a business, almost took Turkey, almost took China, almost took Dubai, and to Faniama. But all these things were playing out. But as if said they saw so Ashanti Ombeto, Yanko camp, Yanko Fani video, Ombeto. But they showed them, said no. That trend is changing. And a generation, what Ashanti region, what generation dynamics now? All generation for now, we stuck to NPP in the so a fade out to right now, the new generation, give me project, give me good economy, let me get a job, I'll vote for you. That's a trend that Omoko with it. And one of his indicators now, Koshe, wow, Kofa, wow, we need pebi mania research. No, about the catch.
But everybody, I think to be fair, the research, Dr. Bonfer research is a captured. Okay, so 25 years to 55 years for Nomon Toma MPP because they are
I remember.
most affected by the CD dollar exchange rate in the economy.
Yeah, I remember. Once you do baby, I mean, now I was arguing with his research and I'm a focus. We don't want to argue. Baby, Anna may argue with the research and was also do baby Anna, but we appreciative vote, which me didn't sister fear. No me because.
I know there could be possible because Ghana be betting that I was say, oh, you better buy into.
Well, yeah, because Musa Dankwaso or global info analytics now. Key issues was the economy. Okacha said Ghana for no, they are going to vote based on the economy, which the same trend happened in the United States. Even United States now, like with the class of people over there, they voted on the economy. And we have Maslow hierarchy of needs. The first thing will be sorry, Diane, obedi. These are basic things people are looking out for. Now, if the basic things they are having challenge with it, no matter what, they will vote against you. But it seems the NPP for no, they sideline the economy, sideline corruption, sideline jobs, and base their everything on free SHS and then digitization. Digitization shouldn't also be a campaign message because if you digitization moves along with our daily lives. Oh, yeah, you cannot choose this one thing be made. That's the wrong thing. So they shot themselves in the foot and they put all their eggs in one basket. And coming to MPP and Kasande, the truth be told, Nanado has scattered MPP. That's the truth that we have to tell people. Like MPP Nana ye back of all this. In Penifoni, they all sat and kept quiet. Sometimes now meetings all so down but more their strategists or more yama underground. Me, I was laughing in my head. Share NDC win they have to even thank because the strategy that he adapted, he was doing evangelism and door to door, including you would I don't remember the last time who said a platform based on Mahama Moye. He was doing outreach. Smaller villages. I want to see look at a megaphone no or yeah. You get it? The strategy MPP put across and it didn't help. It come the amount for organize jamboree near to Sisifia, like pissing people off. Mrs. Efia, me, I saw it coming. And me, and I wasn't surprised because look, Ghana, the economy wasn't good. Jobs was not there, corruption, so and the elders of NPP were quiet watching what will happen.
I think they spoke, but internally, no one. I think there were key issues that they did inside. Now I think I need can't wait on Wednesday, can't wait on Wednesday.
Eugene, and then me to say Eugene, MPs, Ashanti region MPs, came up, they were begging Akufo-Addo to just let Ken Ofori-Atta go.
But he didn't listen. 88 people, they signed letters, went here. He didn't listen. So in terms of Eugene Subin MP, he was very I disagree also, Manka. People were attacking.
I said they said, as you know, some of them were afraid because once in a party now, some MPP party now, voice out that they can single you out, MPR, then they will pair somebody.
They singled all of them out, but sometimes people have to show balls.
And it went a long way to hurt them. And now Obeka MPP long Paula Fokone Kennedy Agyapong is which a Japan issue nearby. People have been harboring bitterness, and even till now, even with what you call it, Alan Martin issue, people still harbor that bitterness in it.
Okay.
So it will take them, I know it will take them a very long time. But what I'm happy in is say Ashanti region, at least you're vindicating and say, the t-shirt bar, and then the bed that I am here to about. We vote based on projects, we vote based on development, we want development for the region. Mahama Ba, nothing trauma to Timi Beye, Utimi be see 5 interchanges, and Utimi Beye Ma. Ashanti region and a share of the development it deserves. I won't be surprised the next time they will vote, people will even come out and vote for him. Because that's what the youth did to drum home a point to a man no more castle Ashanti region is a done deal. It's a done deal. So Stefia may side of it.
Mamina pa Ed Bato na ONPC lights no kana. Nana ma pickle that mitofoi mama good evening akwaba.
If yeah. Oh, sorry. I wouldn't have a vacancy. And what your more adjust today? It would then go for them American. What about fresh into Yoka Crew? Into NPP for me, blame one. But the kind of platform they be about some cooperative show. It's either NDC or NPP. Look at the trajectory. Sometimes, you will be a teacher. We analyze things before we speak. But because Obi knew when you agreement see the American, I mentioned my back at me about them in born from home. Into our nation born from what I'm saying is what I know. As I say, I'll be by us today. And this for up and this or the Cuba Ghana. O platform Ghana make sure there. You bought to a band pepe. Obiarum Bobia. Se police in here and also the new police station. So the new NDC. So why do you have to use that one? Look, people have to be honest. You didn't play your role well. You've lost an election. There is nothing wrong with it. Accept it, go back, re-strategize, and come again. But then, never can NDC forward threaten to be. It's not a here there. Oh, be threaten to be a on mention. My catch all platform you do. There. Sometimes I can't. I can't remember this one thing. They listen. But the fact that 1 year jamboree, 1 year campaign like NPP is doing, doesn't mean that they are not doing anything. Mamba can't show at the end this year. I'm privy to it. If you remember, anytime I'm about platform, I'm a catcher. I can't master. Around that time, it was strategy. I wouldn't have come and tell you there. And this is why you be. You get it. But they knew what they were doing. Finally, I know the NPP, they are actually angry within them. Now, someone working in Ano, are they trying to tell me that they did not know all these things when they were campaigning? No,
only the one. The others went to they went to me.
Oh, now you care, they be Alba, or say a Obotai.
It's allowed to be depressed. Allow him.
If you are precisely on social media platform. I have only one girlfriend in this world. Mommy. My girlfriend, please allow me. For the past 8 years, Obi Biara watch me. Watch my robot because of NPP NDC. I mean, from a channel call. Now, which one you mentioned Kofi Tonto. Fine gentleman, but at the point, a bit of question, which of course you're actually trying to help him. Instead of him to answer, he will answer with an insult. Then the smaller budget is another corporate. One social media language, but I can more listening in our home. I hope you will be ashamed behind me from a trail one after the other. Make sure be able double. We are not for Yanko.
No, that's all right.
If you are also with your for second reason. That is to tell you that when people say things or when people ask you questions, whether political lens or whatever, it is up to you to answer. And when there be some there, catch them there. It mean opportunity. As you explain the 25-hour economy, you ask the same to World Boss. Now, if I explain it to you here, Obi obey my robot, me permit us a pound, but obey my robot. You get it?
Yours is to propagate your message.
And see, you be some questions. No, I say na roba. And this year when you want results. This year NPP NDC were in 190 seats. NPP were per one parliament. We don't need them. When this I think my case mama there. Since minority one but no one on to know. Sometimes people have to give the Ghanaian voters some level of respect. I mean, I respect, but in woman, so the Ghanaian politician has to know that they can never take the politician for a ride, the Ghanaian voter for a ride. Why will you tell me that Usong was one bar to vote? Because you know that you actually thought they were shallow-minded. How can you do a whole lot of things? 3 days or 1 week to election, you keep on cutting tapes and commissioning. Why? And this commission and your commission, they were empty concourse. Outdoor now nature. No. And this will be if they behave, Ghanaians will vote them out. Nobody should tell me about any third force. Third force will be any baby or your NDC, NPP. You come, you perform, they retain you. If you misbehave, they kick you out.
Okay. I mean, 2016 when NDC was saying that the area elections, I think even me, as even I wasn't even reporting, but I was on TV doing the anchoring. What can I area results? Make change your now you see how those things is not true because the voters, like I say, should not be taken for granted.
Another thing that happened this election, I don't know, I mean, on some occasions, my boss platform, when you're back and forth. No, as a group, Maka, I don't know President Mahama from anywhere, right? But I sit back, no man were there, and someone will care about the man. About 90% were all lies. So this time around, there is no way some of us will sit down for anybody to come and say something which is not.
Who said it though?
Oh, come on. Means we blocked it because initially, was set agenda. It's something that they wanted to do. You to tarnish the man.
If you're a politician, you know that these things are normal politics.
But
normal political comments.
We were
2016, some clear errors that NDC made in 2016. The good thing is that the NDC is showing like IMF lady what they have done. But these were things that Mahama has even said it, that he would do it better now. And if you look at his 120 points, you see that this is focus, it's strategic. Yes. These are things that NDC never did in 2009. They didn't do it in 2012. So somehow somehow okay, unless we are talking about NPP, which on one day they are allowed to do propaganda, that's their job.
Yeah,
but when we media today, nobody like these were the things that were IMF reports, World Bank reports about the state of the economy that the media said.
There were some. I know there were some.
NPP, look now the same media NPC people say.
No, my last 2 weeks. No. If you are, I never listen. My father is MVP and NDC. That means I'm trying to tell you that you are doing your job. But there are times you don't allow some of us to express ourselves. I mean,
defamatory.
If you are,
my boss's job.
Don't prepare your day, also NDC. Why your research? I can't share. But the time picking NDC was on the time. I'm just saying NDC is on power. On your extended platform, you know NDC the office. Do you get it? It is an opportunity there, enlightening people. Let's say back at the NDC is on power. Indirectly, you are trying to call this affection for NDC. Or tell them why irresponsible was the call.
That's a fair comment.
Exactly. Maybe I will definitely defend the party. When you go, man, membership card, can you imagine?
Well, I'm waiting to have anymore. What they say?
Why researcher will go for no? Now you also apologize. You have to apologize. There were a whole lot of research. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Yeah. Yeah, quick one.
Doctor, why?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I mean, losing Ningina and free from the top, from Nanado. And this thing started from somewhere, before it started in 2022. It started somewhere 2020 before COVID. And when I started, so yeah. And now, amount for punishing now, votes, no, kind of say votes, not a drop, oh, yeah, I paid it. Or whom say no, the aircon one, you're very careful, obey, you know. Independent candidate, let's start dinner, what do you call it, the powers. And man, no. And no, I feel we will take it majority. But how come say president yatitell I can need back yatitell? Put him could deny him for me and catch almost sorry. Abraham him say I hear no a buy and some politics no ever. I mean, I didn't believe Nanado say Nanado bed behave this in my life. Yeah. The Uncle cartoon is so need all kind of, I mean, a lot. No, Nanado money in our bed. If we Ghana by just 3 weeks ago, Steph, yeah, Miss could do Marcia on. The year pass, ya punish no. This is Swami. From Swam Runabout all the way to Bremai Junction. The Omwaya Honomono.
Am I there?
Just a Juma, there is nothing going on.
Construction on my jai.
None. On my jai construction, no. 3-4 days ago, yeah, I can't say almost better way. And I'm saying yes, Swami, what do you call it? Bremai Junction and Marco Junction. All the lines are basically one more. Because I said, we say one baby. Sorry for using those words on your platform. So that's it. Just say, oh, Jane, maybe who I want to ask you. Who wants a ring road? Oh, buy nothing. From President Kufuor started so far in Churchill. From G, Confanoche, to all the way to a Buakwa. For her kind, up to now, they will say, no maintenance. A year flyover, year or honor, 1 year or so fly honor. There is nothing, there is no maintenance going on. So, from just a air time, say, a car Araga Junction. I was saying, come here, flyover, Nibio. President Kufuor, you're but nothing. Oko a year, can I say, a head from airport runabout, nothing. Runabout, a fast to do airport. At time. Oh, now doing when not because the dead Simon are required or 2-4 a cancer initiative or the buyer. I fed the no 2-4 begging for say.
I confirm.
Yes,
I know 2-4 more.
Yes. One of Papaya are ferry to said ye, or you'll be nothing for 48 and a new to said ye, on your BR. Now, President Kufuor do bet me up for 2-4 in crack and say, oh, sorry, and that's all 2-4 him. I am to be. That's why I didn't went to your man, Ashanti region, or one that's a butu the crap we honor. Oh, what's the man caught him and him, and I don't even go to go to any crack and put this uncle as no. Oh, what shall say, what any kind sad been some folks are, you can't Furiata. Imagine from 2017 up to 2020. 2023 asa na ama nakọ about for gange say ye man nko o se chenchina o ye hwan. I mean media say omo lose power, they will go back and learn whatever they did wrong. So that's it. And at the same time, way a friend is saying this volunteer, the student thought say, I mean omo you okay. No. And this obia be kwa samba. But maybe about Baumia, I hope say they will bring him unless say Kennedy Agyapong decided say no on contesting you. If he's not going to contest Baumia there, they should bring Baumia back. But Napo needs to be changed. And NPP started losing again. Oh, now right you know Okoko no too for coding for and we are now could Jubilee Park. Ako 2 bomb we say in chroma crano and Mokam and chroma crano. Then the ban on one as I realize you know who said no, I can't cross ourselves. It's also yes, smart changing now some more better. Oh, okay, fine. Nyansane the all but also did not platform anymore. Who did not stage? I also nyabo check now to once. You see, what best say Baumia be bia or starting bia. What best say no. And the Kufuado so say Baumia or not. This a Kufuado and Casan and Loke Baumia. Loke Baumia cry. So, but anyway, maybe the American no bet on best to say about Baumia and they will go and regroup themselves and come back. And I know, say, all the seats no more losing in Ano. They are going to get it back. Especially say or boise hono money and dance hono mono. How come say or
boise? Me I want to be free. Me say I want to fabric and I'm free. Why me in Anya? I want to
from Anya Quanta.
Me to about 90%. Me so I me got to go to the world.
Me say me ye can I don't want to identify myself. A free Santa's runabout. Koka Anya Quanta. From Santa's runabout, Koka Anya Quanta. The Omaya Pino. From Santa's runabout to me find say Santa's Cocobain Hodier. And how you okay? Say Hodier, a old road. But a free Cocobain air corner. Echosi Anya Quantano. It's a hot moon almost almost a double road. Double road, no. Just say no contractor on that road.
On that side, yo. Yeah, that's it. And only
I mean, I bet me no me who say lose from 2020 no. Come in now, me who so lose. Me lose you no me. Me catch them for say me enya ade kra me tie results. You say no put kra wa hwe wakoma no betu. Yeah. Wakoma betu.
Yo.
This is God me dance.
Why? Me dance pa. Asem na no aka say be you so mbetie. Eno ni asem no mo ntie so to dia na wakan. We back where good evening.
Good evening, Stefia.
What the constituency almost to Abane saying? Almost what that turn out to say?
Oh, say almost about 80%, but only now to my NPP.
I'm not there because
almost
hey, oh,
yeah, same. But Prof Furi or NPP niya.
Prof, yeah, I'm also a cat or NPP.
Okay.
Last time about Caso NPP.
I'm saying I shouldn't crashing about me.
I'm
last week, me catch you say research be a them. I don't know election polls and yet easy so in Tiana ya to your book akra. Intina make us say na me pay Dr. Bonfen and discuss the research.
But Dr. Bonfen predicted it though. Who's not predicting? The polls show say 25 years between 55 years and they will vote NDC. They will vote.
This is your outcome no. The outcome no, I know they are totally wrong.
Outcome no, okay.
But anyway, and for in I home almost discuss Ghana see in fan transporting for Nina. But unze ye can san nanado the young is papa because no me won't say yes any boss of the president into no abedi na the oko because sena nipa ba ko ne kan no pese usha na the oyi na ate so pese ba me be wini mini ana kan say na ahemfo na otiatia omo ne oko voter region into yi fa omo say na anything ko be bo omo because muntu abama no how can the president talk like this well I don't know the funny thing is the list is long sticker okay we will pass it whether I like it or not we will pass it e-levy and I put it on the break na put the Kwame Nkrumah semi me Kwame Nkrumah the way I go for bunu enye Ghana nkwa we are seeing na on the books meaning Africa Must Unite. It has been translated into even Arabic, Chinese now, or you translate it. It's a big mistake. Katie Hammond also say, let's know why. Oh, yes. Or see a Tisekube, youth, no see a Tisekube. What I say, it's your not the many Makwaji on Ghana Fanta, when you come on, Makwajibia, I am here saying minimum stand. But oh, Katie Hammond number one. Katie Hammond number one. Seriously. Oh, Katie Hammond and how Kumsen. How Kumsen. On the same so any Japan and a second Nipan Mesa.
Japan Mesa.
Yes.
When you say can you MPP lose that?
Yes. Anamati. Because me tell more already, so me tell more discussion. Me say almost lose me the papa. But anyway, inti MPP accept no aside economic challenges no. All more behavior no. I just amount of football for complete style behavior. Now me about me and answer me because unknown as a person, I think say a very, very good person. But group no didn't want to ball no. For my yodium sanity, abe moja na be funny mo. Because how can me can go all say we mate. Now driver just you should desist yourself a bit. A minimum point may resign seriously. Because the Akufo-Addo here be behind you chase or supporting no. But I think me also a digital man because time who say we know very fast. I think no actually say a digital because under 14 hours no who say we. It is if you I mean can't say about quick to more can say na MPP before me to but you then the trace of more matter no me MPP before.
MP the statistics shows voter turnout. Statistics
shows.
Yeah.
Muna musi emfa data ngasa but say
have you seen the EP data? My vote no near 2016 is almost it's the same thing away now. In additional was near 100,000 pay.
But
and if you look at the areas now, voter turnout in Ashanti Eastern Region, MPP strongholds now was below 60%, which is very abysmal. So and Professor don't very certain shows that the voter turnout in MPP strongholds no very low. So if you look at the specific data from Omo regions now, almost stronghold the one voter turnout here very low.
Yes, Matthias, yeah, all the stronghold ne can be Matthias, but me just say Ghana will be any more than in fact 5 million voters to work channel. Because
but they have a basic 4 million, will be a basic 4 million. If you look at the
that's right.
They have will be about 4.5.
Yes. Indeed, there can be floating voters are on bit some at any time. Indeed, to me, no, make terms even though NPP folks stronghold, it could be said they are indifferent or my margins or to more and not just only MP before. Internet there be a because Ghana here blank slot or ballot sheet Europe I will be. Your
blank, but only rejected ballot.
No, take your blank and no obeko ako to say you don't trust any of the candidates.
Okay.
It can be a message. What I say, if France I say you will be like obe blank and I thought I could be third because they don't have trust in, and it's also a message. What I say, and they make come but worry somebody vice president. Is somebody Jao Mirena said.
One worry is somebody vice president.
Oh, who names them go for somebody vice president?
Why?
Okay, there be me be somebody Jao Mirena, and I'm
say divorce they to at any time, you know, and anything can trigger divorce. You know?
Okay, but I mean,
Dog, one more good evening. Hello, dog.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
This is just like now always me can MPP for more performance in government, and more results sana or more. Most times I am me say accountability, here. There be a more they will say it nicely. A good time or more rambe account here, na kwa yes. So this is a fear. I was not surprised. Say elections, say Anna Ebeko. I asked to say of 110 out, many a coffee a yard drink. In Kofo Castle as MPP for Bibri Amame to Abano. But a chunk of those might be floating voters. Because we are only die-hard supporter. Our movie is a buy and we share that need the Biafra and support on the course. At the end of the call, we see the time of original line. Well, it may be say MPP for Sa we know Moncaso, we know Munko for Uncle or Munya research and film Kakra. They might not be their core party we supporters. A lot of them could be floating voters and our one core anchor to Abano. The third thing I can say, this is the affairs, na say who can be say we are NDC near. There were places there. Now we name say we NDC near. As I call for
either some mobile and I say it's like looking at you some way. That thing is being broken. I was NPP. I am very worried about that. And this party, oh, they name NPP for more that way now. But that is what is going on. NDC party, see, I will be a brazenly to me by out catch yourself NDC. Who can be a challenge you? First, no name, sir. It's me say NDC, your mama, based on the first government, the experience of work, any over second time. What we to the near year, NDC, stay around for a while. But also, but now a common power struggle, some of these things, SAT earlier. I careful grab 2028 you cry your move.
So if the researcher knew that there will be low voter turnout and that will affect MPP, why did he predict victory for MPP? Well, Doc, last time I Doc for buy and see he could not predict or see on to me MPP be winning because MPP for imagine no was below 50%, so he could not stick his head out. And I think that was the beginning of the science because and he even mentioned say low voter turnout was more against MPP than NDC because almost strongholds and voter turnout no this is Alice. Good evening.
Sister Fia. Ghana for I think after elections, any Democrats and I believe. I think this is the perfect time, the next 4 years, for any third party or communications here. And if they stay on the toes of this new government, if they don't do what they've promised, if they don't do the right things, there's a possibility that third party, third force now, my challenges are every time I should be somebody else, anybody apart from MPP or NDC. This might be the opportunity. This is the time for that to happen. Ghanaians have really shown this election, challenge Stevia. It's been interesting.
The showdown elections.
Showdown is serious. It's crazy. But what we've done, we've just flip the coin the other way. It's the same coin. We needed to show it to the two party. But I strongly believe, say, if MPP, NDC doesn't do, that's the next elections, but if there's a third party, I'll bet me keep the Ghanaians reminded of it. What NDC did, I believe, is they kept reminding Ghanaians, and people, some of the NDC people really, Jata guy, LGBTQ guy. He kept NPP. He kept NPP. He deserves a trophy for this. Ghanaians, we are starting to understand what democracy is, and I hope we keep to this. Yama NPP for a shock of their lives. I've seen the parliament seating chart.
Less than 100.
It's crazy, and I hope it keeps going that way. This should serve to all politicians. Say Ghana for yatiasio. Sisi anoba no wanya ni epa. Eni biaba yebe you.
Showdown.
Yebe you. Obifu from Beba, and that's what we need to keep doing. And yes, sir, my one petition, and this was a mutia, Munkonko pa educhuncho, Minister of Education, Munko pa educhuncho, and bring him into this government.
I know that won't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen. At least we will also market time of a position. It won't happen. Yeah.
The kind of work Educhum has done. If Ghana for sometimes you cannot cry, you know.
I think before that Twaso, but they will not bring him in their
government. God, that guy has worked. That guy has worked. If they won't bring him back, they should secretly see him. So his ideas, his policies, some of the vision of the America, the way he's changing education in Ghana, it's ridiculous. I think.
Do you think that they do to me a running mate and the results will be any different?
I think if it was not Baumia, and I think Baumia was just a sacrificial lamb. I don't even know some bessans were Edina Badiuma. If Educhum was there, Baumia was the problem. Baumia is simple. Baumia was the problem. They could have gone with anybody else and they would have given NDC a tough time. Anybody
you think that Kennedy a candidate and Alan a candidate?
When we Kennedy Mama showdown, it would have been it would have been tough. It would have been much better than Baumia. Baumia was a non-starter. That was their problem. And you know, maybe I'm so excited, and all I keep thinking is Kofi Granting. I wish Alan Cash
didn't make a proper show.
Don't bring my
more votes than Alan Chemartin. Have you seen that?
Wow.
Yes. Got more votes than Alan Chemartin.
Alan situation there, but I'm telling you,
not NPP more pissing in when NPP more. Now would have been his best to say that
next time, yes, would have definitely
maybe I'm in Kennedy Agyapong or something. I don't know.
In next time, you know, me, I see about me as a sacrificial lamb. And NPP just put them out there because there's no way NPP sat down and thought they could win this election. Then they were delusional. If they actually thought they would win it, then there was something going on. And Baumia has just been, we'll see if they will re-nominate him again next election. But I strongly believe this is a celebratory time. We should all be happy because for the first time, Ghana, where is more than another win, no winning, you know.
Oh yeah,
this is more than that. We have systematically voted from top to bottom to change administration. And it's always MP now Brow Kroma, you were gone. I'm also excited for the independent candidates. No, you know, A+. I think I've seen only 4 of them so far. I'm hoping some more and more gradually. Independent candidates, people that don't stand for either of these two parties.
I think to start as independent candidate, get into parliament and start pissing in from there.
It's possible. It's very possible. But I'm just saying, whoever wants to take the next election, this is the time. Everything you have to post. Mahama Shuno and Marchine Natare. That is American election. That's exactly what it is. The Republicans are very good at finding topics to just emotional topics to get the people always like flared up. And the Democrats are here picking ridiculous ones, and you know, and that's why they, you know, someone like Trump can win an election. Trump, you know. So me, I'm very happy. Ghana for you I know, yeah, honorable warrior and quiet, keep your people alert, keep the Ghanaians alert. NDC they've kept Ghanaians alert this past 4 years. Maybe they didn't do it in the first term. The second term, Kofi Granting, please, let's revamp our team. Kofi Granting, I hope one day he becomes president of Ghana. We need a third party. NPP and NDC, they are not going to help this country. Okay. But we'll see what Mahama does. It looks like he has a different plan. And his agenda now we're releasing, you know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
And that's it. That's it, Papa Jerry, good evening.
Yeah. I'm saying him.
Show down, Mama.
I'm saying him. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
And then I can be person me meet here. One in town.
Wabako.
Rather. On the last because I'm a did my term of father who did and then go boom. Anyway, politics. If you have a car, who host to me, Kofi Tonto. During primaries, no, I'll be better than Muma Ken. Me can send me now. I want to repeat it today so that the audience should hear me today. If you are someone say, you see things different than Obi or your insider. I keep saying, I'm NPP sympathizer since 92. Me fear for NPP. There's no way at DNA here. We will tell you the truth. No more, you fix it. But rather, no people say, "Oh, you are bitter." I don't know. Why would I be bitter? Ghana here, me chrome 40 will be me fear 40 Ghana. Me by so is Ubeka say, fear. Baumia leading NPP no is not right now. It was a wrong timing. He's a nice gentleman, but only here. I could forward was saying career. For about Baumia than about 10 times, he's going to lose 10 times. I dare we are seeing with this voter turnout, it has created some animosity and hatred to Papa Neso. For him to redeem himself, or forget it. Now the vice president now when you dino, you should make it as a cap. No than in young couples, don't trade for no in S glacier. Maybe say Baumia only nanado the way Papa Akufo-Addo 1 year Ghana for one bufuno. So or coffee offer and then cobrel. Now allow somebody because after all, what enjoy 8 years being vice president. Kofi Ekowome be a spectator now. Now or before from either Ken or Alan. Anyone. Omoba. Sir, 4 years, but we are age favor. We can say he has an age favoring him. By 2032, that was my date that I put year with the torso. By 2032, no, you still qualify a young man now, sir, because at this age plus next 8 years, it's nothing for Baumia. So you are mine, not that something come now. You come now on your own, and you could find the peja on, sir. And we are 1, 2. Everyone na Ghana for sir abufona na ewo mu na omubuafu Akufo-Addo afete we have no refi and say Ghana for refi asaraka they will never vote for Mama. Sometimes you have to go back, do your homework and come like a kakai. Come back like a kakai. It is on tear masemona. Na me confident to catch say me I'm being bitter. Some point ago, I don't want to use that word. Let's about to provoke the king, but let's put it somewhere. Or can say be that day, which is unacceptable, but politics it me manifest who dear. Set about me tears, some American, and not call ye brewer. If you and Mama on we need about we. Can't bet it here because now I know a couple of NDC, even NDC members, they were ready to vote for Ken.
But for the fact that there was no development. Would they have changed anything?
It was going to be a new face. And we know how Ken campaigned. Ken was campaigning or board Akufo-Addo. The message also they are looking like there's no tomorrow. He said it. Musari a strategist. Adiache na mujina IMF. Okaya kasen the sika crab baudia. He mentioned your name, Mama Nasi. These are key words I use to and resonating with Ghanaians. And Omka said, listen, this is the guy. At least he's able to stand and condemn his own party. But Omo cannot be here. Yes, Amasa. Akufo-Addo whip them. Let's go. It became to a point, and then now no. Say almost Suma Akufo-Addo. They are not serving Ghana. They are rather serving Akufo-Addo. No better be anwaka. It is some sort of dictatorship leader. Bia no better a fana. It is a con being kikia him for sense or Richie. Akufo came to a point Akufo-Addo see himself like a tin god. Or Kasa, that's it. And then I know I'm about Bia. And now my intelligence and then I heard say Baumia snub him on the phone.
Wow.
Oko consider speech, Akufo-Addo tried to stop him not to go. It's too early. Because some person me win here. Commission.
And over Jerry, point where you need to call your point.
Uncle commission me waha. You should have even allowed me to do those commission. At the 6 months to your term, if Akufo-Addo indeed want Baumia to win, he should have just leave office and leave everything for Baumia to control. It at least they may bring some sort of sympathy. You know, when you a little bit of sympathy vote. Not Ghana for so they are born. But what did Akufo-Addo did? On them all commission, start to a you know, they are baby. Everything has to be Akufo-Addo. Sad no yeah, and I bomb for Monday. Now, you can't a dollar sema obibu afu. You can't what is the economy? Dollar inflation is also another factor. Sticker bejina can say dollar the spiritual. It is a say no. You come on pay that dollar this one. It makes people see you say you guys don't even know what you are doing. They say no. If you are here 2/3 in parliament to form a quorum, right? 2/3, semi calculation from 275 members in parliament. 230 160 or 170. 169 and a 2/3 of a former quorum of parliament. Says that 2/3 the crown mama chamu. It is yeah, it is our MPPs now. MPPs, you know, they are just going to waste taxpayers' money.
Well, Mahama has a major majority in parliament. There is nothing that anybody can do.
Right now, Mahama is a supreme leader. Yeka supreme leader. He said it and it's done. Mama bet me sorry and ne or china catch say, you know what? Say Krano. My first 4 years now me buy you know. It was at Tamils. And I be uwu and minya okonya na mje. I feel proud of my baby. On because okay, okay, you call referendum. With the way this vote we 10 years.
I know I know your constitutional interpretation issue of the constitution because I know they
referendum.
There be a referendum. Other country they call Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will just have to interpret the constitution. That's all.
Thank you. Because constitution. Yeah, constitution. It doesn't say or say now you were Juma year. You have man, they say, also another 4 years. Right?
Everyone can say when you read the constitution. Constitution only says that over 4 year tenure, and you can contest again for another 4 year tenure. And yes, whether why you were doing or not, you can contest again.
You have time
and you are limited to only 2 terms. So that the aim will be that our constitution is that whether or not 8 years, no 2 terms, no constitution can. 2 terms at 12 so 4 years after 4 years. Or 4 years not to be a free power. No, somebody man. When you have 4 years to pay and now starting 8 years to 2 terms not all over again. That is where we need a constitutional interpretation.
Interpretation.
Okay. The one that a man of 2 minutes or interpreting constitution.
And yeah, some judge follow up for your Michael steps. No come Supreme Court no more.
So be the court that can continue the court and the court threw the case out. They have to just start the case again. It has already gone to court.
It has already they tried it before.
Yes, wow. Somebody has tried it before for the.
Great. It's not me dem announce no. The American say, first of all, medals and the force say there be a kasa omutie. Ye nuanom. Wow, if ya say Ghana, me Bruno, or bebre democracy as anyhow it works. How to start voting based on issue, not party colors. So the party colors been until the albebre. You know,
okay,
we give time to say Mama Abano one more thing. We know money trimunya no mama me beso me party. Ghana for say Mama no who turn the vote in the turn out in the buy. So mistake 104 years prior so no ya impeaching. Ghana for near break. You know wabano bibia waka so obeye bia no. I pray say nyame man adwen na o man okaye honhom. No fanya kana ni rain coffee be. No share the thing. You know, congrats.
Yeah, that's a Papa Jay. Era Odro, I'm good evening. But now we move the brain so that people can focus on the best.
Before I know how much you are.
Okay.
So where there. Your friend is saying, we and you say we are MPP for members and we say now we mother. Then omunim. So we say, yeah, why him feel no? Your traditional ediso. Echia, baby, I don't know. I say a sample funny debate to her, but who share the way and another see I should name one. Why ma and name Ako wrong. I'm an MPP for no. But a penny for no more work training, you know, be a can and to minim the entire as well become one of two as a. Oh, come on. Who's a Ghana for any difficult how? I don't know. You know, we just show some kind, but okay, one too much.
But who need inside it? Let's not be conclusive because
yeah, but if you are
inside, no be empty.
I'm so Oma come on not too much. But me angasa me papa Kwampi and him say no yeah outspoken. The beer no yeah. So Obano abekasa baako, but obi you know, but them the abano omo happy. To be honest with you, but Adebakwa manage and say me ankasa me maame kwa 84 we plan for mark to ama about me. I'm about me I would know I see Debbie. I was in the view, and I'm saying, okay, why are they? I didn't know to one. I was say, the nana no money in Martin or Cotuaban. And the Baumia, Hanuman I resigned it at that. UK and Baumia is gone because we're failing totally. And there be a about program. So I want to because Ghana has not created any wealth. Okay, what be the 8 years? One create any money for the entire country. What's Uncle Boka be brazen? There are 2 survey. A mebruna or mobile. Umjina be Tiasa way. So what you say? Inti Opaso bin Sanko to Abama on a Saba Boka no more Guana. I think say Ghana for any be inti failure way no. Omunko dan omunjin honom sanfa and she from ra. Ubia and time me to about my NDC that mean to be my MPP so that but omunyina anko dan omunjin honom sam rebim. The me pese NDC 4 years say me mama ni 50 or so over 50 or 60 ministers.
Yeah, okay, say 50 or say 50.
Okay. I think is more if you cry is more. Obetimi the bear 25 per hour in Ghana. And so take the Akufa the bear which is 125 for no 120, you know. At least say scanner or move spending on ministers, you know. Obetimi the IABB na ama or man so akonanim. And in Puntua the be me driving for a ferry hospital honum. The biana and Emmy, Yamitiko Jana me, Emmy Yazi, and I'm photos, but Obano to me be complete hospital now. I believe Sammy Angasa, me Baba Ko Ghana, Marshana, and every school is here. Obesiment Yaka Juma. Inti I am the NDC for 1 year of Munyajuma, Empire of Bamo. I
wanted to play you a Mahama victory speech, and he just finished speaking. But Nana Abwakaza, we are not men kohono. I don't know if one will do more microphone. Okay. Be a name of feedback. Yeah. We okay, Pachoka saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Mr. Good evening. 11:35 for UK.
Oh, okay. And they are there some.
Okay. Already, me da sinu uji media udi ja why enlighten obi a adwen. All remain partial pa ma ja. Obi a hu say.
Partial. Partial, it is a waiting up on. I think you rather want to say impartial.
Yeah, I just say impartial, and Pasameka. Impartial and Pasameka. Just a wait now, person and Pasameka. In the first place, I can say, I can congratulate Miss Excellency John Mama. We wish him well. Why are they? At the end of the day, you know, it's not easy. What do you say? To become Ghana president, you know, wow, many easy man. Why are the very soon? Congratulations. Now, yeah, commiserate Dr. Baumia, any NPP for any Nanado, and now Dr. Baumia, especially any wife, so am I idea. But I don't think anybody have to blame His Excellency Nanado. And yeah, easy because Nanado and support to Baumia, Fragber and Franconia. It will be a case Nanado don't pay Baumia Simbia. Ebia ni jume di bi odi ye na ebia ankoye Ghana for there. Okay, politics there. We are there. Utimi e bibia. Ebi nkofo no kwa wa form na wo so pese wo bo Ghana no. Omo bi be kwa kwa bibi ma ba be feto. Ti na no there. Onye me hu se wa ye boni bia. Se ye ni pa ba ko se ombra no meka boni a na do ya. Me nya sure so bi betimi ka one word kra. Be ebia jume di bia ne hu. Oh, and they say, "Ebia fancy Bia and I for me. Oh, be a mistake.
I know that
a mistake. And you'll be so mistake.
Two times or 10 for someone sorry back on your bonus item or someone sorry. Back so Kachan and so sorry. I know people have said a lot of things. I know.
Obia a mistake. I just say, Obia a mistake. Tidipa de Obi or Bia say at least yes, you to be a channel. Well, I own the meta machine. And before more than money, I'm happy. I mean, I'm not saying me boy. What I say because now I'm a dear chima. Mitchell join baby who send Korea and because look, a game. Baku baby, Baku Beluzu.